has Brian Bruton and Robert Burns deep. Burns, by the way, a transfer from Miami. Bruton's averaging 25.4 returns, including, Roddy, a 96-yard touchdown at Army. BT Potter will kick it away. Tigers head to toe purple with the orange helmets. Connecticut in the white. And we're underway from Frank Howard Field. And this will be Bruton. Fumbled the ball at the 2. Trying to cut here to the near side. Bruton turns the corner. 30, 40, midfield. Bruton trying to pick up a block. May not need it, and he won't. A high five down the sideline for a 99-yard kick return to start the ball game.
Number 28, Brian Bruton for the touchdown.
What a start, what a turn of events. Bruton drops the ball, can't find it, and that causes the Clemson kickoff team to lose contain. He's able to get to the outside, gets a couple of nice blocks down the sideline, and it was all game from there. As you said, a high five and escort into the end zone. What a start for the Huskies.
And murmurs and silence through the stadium as Brian Bruton returns his second kick for a touchdown this year. There is 50-year-old Will Swinney, the interim head coach of the UConn Huskies. And they just exploded in this facility.
Well, it was absolute disaster when Bruton drops the ball and then is looking for it. But as I said, a lot of times that causes the kickoff team to lose its integrity. Those guys staying in their lanes, and Will Swinney has to be fired up. He was named the interim coach on September 6th, and in a development that we'll get to, he will not be the next head coach. They've named Jim Mora as their next head coach, but Swinney's a guy that's familiar with Mora, loves this program, just talked to us so much about how he wants success for these guys, and his guys have had it on the biggest stage in a flash, Wes. Wow.
And if you ever wanted to know about the maturity and the growth of Dabo Swinney's team, Roddy, we're getting ready to find out.
You're absolutely correct there. You know, I've been in these games where you're playing an opponent that you feel really good about the fact that you're going to have success against them. When you have things like that happen, it has to be the leaders on this team that go out and make a play. They've made one, now you have to make one. It looks like UConn's trying to get an extra guy on the field. Seems like they've only got 10 guys out there for their kickoff team.
Well, and Clemson has plugged Darian Rencher as the kickoff return guy. You want to talk about a leader. This is one of the Tigers' very best right here.
Yeah, and usually you see Will Shipley back there, but curious to see how much we'll see Shipley today. We're told that may not play a whole lot.
The kick is away, and this will be Rencher at the 4. Darian Rencher bouncing to the near side and pushed out of bounds near the 35-yard line. So trailing 7-0, Clemson takes over after Bruton's 99-yard kickoff return. First time since October of 2004.
Darian Rencher with return to the 34.
That the opening kick has been returned.
You get DJ Uiagalelei leading this Clemson offense. I've talked about his improvement, but you saw the toughness last week. Had that knee injury, still was able to score the game-winning touchdown.
Quick throw by Uiagalelei, and this is Bo Collins going to work. Kept his feet, dives forward for about 6 on first down. Trey Wortham, the corner. Will Swinney's talked about the strides that the junior college transfer from Stockton, California has made during the course of the season. They ruled Collins down after 2, so it is 2nd and 8. Bo Collins had a breakout ball game against Louisville last Saturday night at Cardinal Stadium. That's Maffa checking out of the backfield here to the near side. Quick throw, that's Collins again. And he will fight toward a first down at the 43.5. Omar Fort, the linebacker, makes the stop for UConn.
It's a great catch by Bo Collins. You mentioned his emergence a week ago, and we talked to Tony Elliott about it. He said there's had to have been so much shuffling at that receiver room that these guys are finally starting to get some consistency, although this week Justin Ross goes to the boundary, E.J. Williams out to the field, Collins in the slot.
3rd down and short, and boy, Maffa, I'm not sure got it.
I'm not sure if he did either.
Malik Dixon crashed from the safety spot for UConn. It'll be 4th down.
Number 31, Malik Dixon.
And Dabo Swinney's leaving the offense on the field. I would be shocked if he doesn't go for it here. The thing is, DJ Uiagalelei wearing that brace on that right knee. Quarterback run has been a part of this offensive emergence. I doubt we see much of that today.
That's Maffa with Uiagalelei. And Phil Maffa going to get the first down. Powers over the 45. Well, the numbers, the stats, the overall record probably don't tell the story of UConn. It's been a struggle for the Huskies. It was documented this week with the announcement that Jim Mora will be the next head football coach there. But at least from the gun, Roddy, the guys in the white hats are here to go today.
They're excited to play. You come in and into Death Valley, you get a play early on.
And Maffa gets rallied up after no gain. In fact, tackled down behind the line. That was Jackson Mitchell, the linebacker. 43 is a hitter. 16 tackles against Army, 15 against Purdue, 4 games with 10 or more for the sophomore from Ridgefield.
One of the leading tacklers in the country. You can see him just sort of maneuvering across that offensive line, shoots the gap, is able to bring down Maffa in the backfield.
So second and almost 12. Quick throw on the perimeter. Collins looking for room again and chopped down. And that was another nice play by Wortham. He's handled that throw twice already defensively for the Huskies.
UConn has basically said, hey, if you're going to beat us, we're going to make it tough for you running the football. You're going to have to do it through the air. And them tossing the ball out quick, that has to be a good play for Clemson. It's an easy throw, easy completion, but UConn's done a nice job of tackling in space.
Tight end in the slot to the top of your screen is Davis Allen. 7-0 UConn and Uiagalelei. Dumping to Ross. And he will fight back toward the 48 of UConn, and that now will bring up a 4th down play, and Clemson's keeping the offense on the field again.
Yeah, 4th and 4. Again, UConn is an opponent that on paper is overmatched. Dabo Swinney opting to be aggressive here on 4th and 4. E.J. Williams in the slot to the bottom.
Got to move. Flag will come. Free play for the Tigers. Williams downfield. Broken up by Wortham. Going to get Kavon Jones, I believe, being offside.
Offside defense. 5-yard penalty. That penalty results in a first down.
The veteran referee, Riley Johnson. First time we've heard from him today.
Yeah, pretty cut and dry. Clemson going on the hard count, and you could see Kavon Jones holding his hands up like, yep, sorry, my bad.
Collins in motion, first down and a play fake. Uiagalelei struggling to move, tried to fire to Allen. Roddy, that's the first time we've seen DJ going any kind of move from the pocket, and it was not nearly as crisp as it was prior to the injury last week.
Yeah, I would say it was laborious for him getting out there, really struggling on that right knee. We were told it was a PCL sprain. You and I were curious on whether or not he was going to play. It looks like he is, but the movement, I mean, you got to keep him in the pocket after seeing that.
That's Maffa trying to counter back to the left side, and maybe a couple. Omar Fort, the tackle for UConn. Fort comes in. This is his 26th start today for the Huskies. Senior from Stamford, Connecticut. Well, Uiagalelei, the freshman, said just kind of had a boo-boo on my knee.
That ain't a boo-boo.
I wanted to wear a knee brace just for fun. I feel great.
Yeah,
3rd down. Backing up. Oh, what a catch. Ross in traffic. Had Lucian hanging on him. Uiagalelei backing up and giving ground. It's not quite enough, I don't believe, for the first down.
Yeah, Clemson's once again going to have to go for it on 4th down. But it's a throw that you're glad that you got off behind the receiver. Ross makes a nice catch. Justin Ross has consistently improved this season, I think. I mean, he's been moved all over the place. We'll see what they do here on 4th down, though.
Maffa, sidecar left. He'll get the call on 4th and short, and the big back just powers in. Roddy, we had the chance to do Clemson's spring game with our buddy Eric McLean, and Phil Maffa. Of all the backs Clemson had, Maffa might have been the most impressive.
Yeah, I mean, that's high praise because there were a number of guys, some of which you aren't here anymore, that were still impressive, Will Shipley included.
Yeah.
But Phil Maffa right up there. I mean, as you said, a bigger back, 225 pounds. Saw him get out a couple of times the last few weeks with the speed down the field. He's an impressive young player.
Fresh set of downs. Tigers have had to convert 4th downs, though, to keep it going. Here's a throw to the perimeter off the hands of Williams in front of Wortham.
Yeah, and through the struggles of this season, if you want to know what one of the biggest differences is, it's that these easy access throws that were so automatic with Trevor Lawrence at quarterback have not been. I mean, that's a 7-yard gain at minimum if you're able to complete it. And they just haven't been able to complete those consistently this year.
Uiagalelei, 5 of his first 7 for 26 yards. 2nd down and the full 10 for the Tigers. Trailing 7-0 after the kick was returned 99 yards to start the game. That ball got deflected on the way to Davis Allen, its intended target.
The number of times that Clemson's been in 3rd and long on this drive alone has been somewhat jarring. I mean, you coming into this game, watching these two teams, thought that Clemson was just going to be able to drive the ball down the field at will, and 3rd and longs have kind of become a staple.
3rd down and 10. Tigers are 0 for 2 so far in the ball game. Connecticut rushing 4. DJ throws beyond the reach of a Sage Ennis, the tight end, who was on the hash marks at the far side, and here comes B.T. Potter to try and cover the rest of this.
I think number 19, Durante Jones, got away with a little bit of a tug on the back of Ennis's jersey, but nonetheless, refs don't see it, not called. Finally, those 3rd and longs catch up to Clemson. B.T. Potter's got a long field goal attempt to try and get points out of this drive.
It would be his longest of the year. He hit a 47-yarder 2 weeks ago against Florida State. This is 49 for B.T. Potter. Kick is away from Potter, and it is good inside the left upright. Season best for B.T. Potter. Clemson converts some. Montreal, who makes his 12th start today for the Huskies, and he operates with a lead. His first start since game 2 of the season, and a quick throw. And this is Cameron Ross, or no, Keelan Marion, number 1, hanging on, and he'll pick up a 1st down to the 39-yard line. So UConn offensive coordinator Frank Joffrey goes to an air on a little slant for 14 and a 1st.
Yeah, just a little route where he comes in, settles kind of over the guard. And Zergiotis is able to get the completion. We were told by Lou Spanos, the head coach, that Zergiotis would get the start and that he earned the starting spot at the beginning of the season. He's really been their best quarterback at times.
You see, that's Turner in motion. Here's Zergiotis looking to throw before Skowski got to him and threw it incomplete. Trenton Simpson was in coverage of the tight end, Jay Rose.
Zergiotis a nice completion on the first play. Now you see the speed of the game start to kind of be exposed to Zergiotis. I mean, the closing speed of James Skowski forces the throw. You got to come off that fake ready to throw the football, knowing that Clemson's going to have somebody coming for you.
Spoken with experience, by the way.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
2nd down in the full 10. 7-3 UConn after they ran the opening kick back 99 yards to start the ball game. Turner again in motion. Zergiotis, little flip on the perimeter. Mensah dropped it. Trenton Simpson wraps him up. It's ruled incomplete. Roddy, I have found this year, in particular the last month, these little passes out in the flat, everybody's playing them all the way through the whistle because they're not as sure as they used to be.
No, they're not. And sometimes the officials will let them go a little bit longer just to take a peek, but that time called a forward pass incomplete.
UConn 129th nationally in 3rd down conversion. They're 8 of their last 32 on 3rd down.
And the issue for UConn is going to be figuring out where people are coming from and where to go with the football. Clemson's going to play aggressive.
Tigers trying to get there, no chance. Goodrich was in coverage. Clarcius, the intended receiver, and now a flag. Clarcius was down that far sideline, but Dwayne Goodrich going to be flagged here. Mario Goodrich going to be flagged.
Defense, number 31. That's an automatic 1st down.
Wow. Tigers give it back on the penalty.
It's a tough penalty for Clemson. Let's take a look at this. Down the field. Yeah, Goodrich kind of has I don't love it. Based on what we saw and what I saw live, I don't love the call. There was some physicality, but it didn't look like the ball was anywhere close.
So Zergiotis and the Huskies get a first down at Clemson's 46-yard line. And UConn with a 4-point advantage is just fine being deliberate here in this offensive possession.
Absolutely shortening the game.
Yep. And now a flag, and this delay.
A little too long, a little too deliberate.
Yeah.
Delay of game.
There's a lot going on here, though, it looks like. Zergiotis is
down.
looking to the sideline. He then moves a guy, Will Swinney. He was the defensive coordinator, still is, when Randy Edsall retired after the loss to Holy Cross in week 3. As their third game, it was actually the second week of the season. They played a week 0 game at Fresno.
Yep.
Here's Mensah on first down after the penalty, trying to get to the perimeter, and the Tigers rallied quick. Sheridan Jones finally came up from the corner spot to get Kevin Mensah on the ground. He's their second leading ball carrier behind Nathan Carter, a true freshman from Rochester, New York, that they're excited about.
And look, this UConn team has some talent. We've already seen Marion get involved, a good young player, a freshman who I think's got some talent. The two backs have some talent. Now where they're going to be deficient is up front against this Clemson front.
Zergiotis going to quickly throw to the perimeter. That's Aaron Turner, the wide receiver. And he will get back toward the original line near the 46. Well, the Huskies are here after a double bye.
The rare double bye.
Yeah, but when you're a football independent, smoke them if you got them, so to speak. And they last played October 22nd and lost by 31 to Middle Tennessee State.
I did not have smoke them if you got them on my bingo card for today.
That's what happens when you're an independent, though, man. You may get that double bye if you're not careful. Remember, we talked about that.
Offense, number 64, 5-yard penalty, third down.
And that's one of the things, Roddy, about this program and its struggles that was analyzed a little bit this week is their declaration of independence in football, where they're Big East basketball. They play hockey, I think, in Hockey East, that kind of thing. They've got full schedules out to about 25, but you kind of take them when you can get them.
Yeah, and as conference expansion happens, you just hope that they don't start to get squeezed out because of the expansion of conference schedules.
There's a quick throw, Zergiotis offline. Hard to tell if it was Marion, the intended receiver.
Yeah,
I believe it was, and here comes McFadden to punt for the first time today.
Looked like Zergiotis thought Marion was going to break out. Marion sits it down, in my opinion, correctly, because he has a defender on that outside shoulder. To miscommunication for UConn, and it stops a drive that was starting to get a budding drive, if you will. I don't know if it was dangerous yet, but we'll go with budding.
7-3 UConn. Joe McFadden to punt for the first time today. Handles all of the kicking, both punting and place kicking. And that will be fair caught by the Tigers' Will Brown. Timeout on the field, 7-3 UConn. First quarter. It's going to be Kelsey Riggs, who's been as busy as anybody we've got on the payroll. Well, OB too, yeah. I saw Kelsey this morning in opening segment of the huddle, for heaven's sakes.
There you go. Yeah, OB's not doing that.
22-yard line. Rencher's come in as the running back. Uiagalelei. Tigers trailing 4, and here is Darian Rencher from TL Hanna over in Anderson for 3 on first down before he got pushed back by Travis Jones, the first of the Huskies to arrive.
Clemson offensively stayed in 3rd and long, it seemed like, on that first drive. You see him running the football early on in this one. That's kind of what I want to see him do, establish the run, especially with DJ's knee being a little banged up. Look, that boo-boo started to linger.
Yeah, that's it. Play fake to Rencher. Quick throw. Shot play. There's Ross. 45. Justin Ross toward midfield. Pulled back there. First down, Clemson. Trey Wortham the tackle. And Ross comes hobbling off.
Yeah, that's not what Clemson fans want to see. You've already got a number of players out. Ladson and Ngata out. But Justin Ross, he's starting to look like Justin Ross of old. It's easy to say, hey, he should have been ready to go from the very beginning. This is a guy that had surgery on his neck, needed some time to get back into the flow of things, and he's starting to look like the guy that we know earlier in his career.
DJ looking to throw and will bail out to the Clemson bench over Williams, the intended receiver. Roddy, we're not doctors. We don't play them on television. Uiagalelei might be 60%.
Hobbled. Significantly hobbled.
Yeah.
You know, when you saw him go into the end zone last week against Louisville, it was basically on one leg. I mean,
yep.
he was essentially hopping on that left leg into the end zone, and good for him for toughing it out, but you can tell it is certainly bothering him.
Quick throw on the perimeter, needs a block, and there is Williams, first down for Clemson. Got to the 39 of UConn before Malik Dixon shoved him out after 11 yards.
Bo Collins out front doing a great job of blocking, and in the past, that's really where Clemson has made those plays great. Amari Rogers, Cornell Powell doing a nice job out front blocking. You should get a look at DJ's numbers from a week ago.
Yep. Another play of 1st and 10 coming up. Now he's going to take the shot, looking downfield. That is Dakari Collins, the freshman from Atlanta Westlake, who had Lucian beat. 2nd and 10 will be the next snap.
Yeah.
It's an interesting dynamic when you get into the depth at wide receiver. Ross, we talk about being hobbled. Latson and Ngata out today. So's Will Taylor. He's on the shelf for the year. Joe's a possibility. Bo Collins a possibility. Davis Allen discussed. Here's E.J. Williams coming on the field. There's a late push on this 2nd in the full 10.
And then you saw Ross kind of hobble off.
Here's Uiagalelei near side. Dakari Collins again. They'll pick up about 6 on the play. 3rd and 4 will be the next snap. Kavon Jones, the tackle for UConn. Roddy, the numbers offensively. Clemson is 12th in passing yardage, 11th running it. But as we said at the top, the 2 games against Florida State and Louisville bore a little confidence for what Tony Elliott's group has.
You're looking for improvement, and this offense is approaching being an average offense, if we're being completely honest. And with the defense that they've been playing, that makes them a pretty dangerous team.
Rencher in the backfield. This is 3rd down and 4 now for the Tigers. DJ, a quick throw. That ball's caught. Dakari Collins makes a man miss inside the 15. 1st and 10 for the Tigers just outside the UConn 10. Jackson Mitchell, the linebacker, shoved Dakari Collins out. He's now doubled his season total in this drive. He had 2 catches coming in, now 4 on the year after this one.
Yeah, and a lot of talent from the freshman from Atlanta. Does a nice job of turning around Lucian, the corner, and Clemson's now inside the 10-yard line.
And Darian Rencher going to get the call. Rencher spins and falls forward to the 5. 2nd down coming up here.
We're going to have an opportunity to talk a lot about Darian Rencher, but what he's meant to this team, and you see, like, there's a lot of talent there as well. It's a nice move in the hole.
Here is Rencher working left side again and is met by that UConn front. Dalmont Gordine from over in North Charleston, South Carolina. There are a few Palmetto State products on this UConn roster. In fact, Lou Spanos, their interim head coach, claims Mount Pleasant is kind of his hometown.
Yeah. 3rd down now in the red zone. You got one-on-one to the top.
Uiagalelei the snap, quick throw, end zone, and Collins couldn't come up with it. Kind of got squeezed, it looked like, by Lucian, and then the safety, Durante Jones, Roddy.
Yeah, and that's one of those where DJ looks to the right, then comes back to the left and delivers the football. If you're going quick slant, snap the ball, maybe go middle, but snap and throw that ball to the left side so that Collins doesn't have to make the catch as he's getting hit by 2 players. You want to put it so he can kind of ease up the seam there, not take that hit, and another Clemson offensive drive kind of stalls.
Yep, B.T. Potter to kick a 23-yard field goal. No, they fake it. This is Will Swinney, touchdown.
Watch the left side, the blocking. You get a couple of blocks. Davis Allen comes around. You got Justin Maskell out front as well. Will Swinney ends up in the end zone, fired up. The coach's kid gets a touchdown.
No. That's Kathleen's son.
Oh, excuse me, my apologies.
You may say it's Dabo's, that's Kathleen's son.
Yeah, especially when he runs like that.
Yep. 10-7, Tigers are in front. Yeah, how about that one? 22 in the end zone, Dabo.
642, 642.
So, Will, tell me, how'd that exactly break open for us?
Right. Drew's sitting there like, hey, man, I told you it was going to be open. Just hit it up in there.
Yeah.
I'll coach you up.
Drew, the junior, Will, the grad student, Dabo, the coach, Kathleen, the proud mom. And there'll be no return for Bruton, who went 99 to start the game. Roddy, break this down here.
So I mean, it's really comes down to being a simple fake. The left side, you got man blocking over there, kick out on the outside man, and Dabo Swinney fired up.
At worst, it was going to be 1st and goal.
Absolutely.
But it was a touchdown instead.
Well, the thing is, if you're UConn, you almost have to play every field goal as if it's safe. Let Clemson kick field goals. I mean, just don't give that up.
Right. Zergiotis, after the Huskies had a lead momentarily, throw on 1st down, and Sheridan Jones makes the play on Kevin Clarcius, the 6'3" wide receiver, redshirt freshman, also from Montreal, Quebec, who came into the ball game 16 catches and 2 scores. 2nd down, and that is the carry of Kevin Mensah for a couple of yards. Let's visit with Taylor.
Well, guys, as we see quarterback Jack Zergiotis back here on the field, I asked one of his targets, Aaron Tucker, this week, what makes him special. He said he can be explosive in the pass game. He gets the ball out of his hands very quickly. Down here on the sideline, coach is encouraging just that. They said, set your eyes, see what they're giving you, and go fast, especially against this Clemson defensive front.
Yep. That kick got run back, and all of a sudden, everybody here got interested.
Yeah, exactly.
Zergiotis, 3rd and 5, sacked. Woo! The house collapsed under the rush of Tyler Davis.
Tyler Davis, one of the best defensive tackles in the country, but Clemson turns a guy loose down the field. If Zergiotis had time, you're going to get a receiver right here on the left side of your screen. He's wide open down the field. Unfortunately for UConn, Tyler Davis is able to bring him down before it happens.
Joe McFadden to punt it. 41-yard average. Will Brown fair catching and doing so right around the 35-yard line. So a 10-7 game here in the final 90 seconds or so of this opening period of play. Well, this ball game started with a bang when Brian Bruton went 99 yards for the touchdown, Roddy, to start it. And then Clemson was able to scramble, convert a couple of 4th downs, kick a field goal, and a moment ago faked a field goal to take the lead.
A little bit of everything on special teams.
Yep.
I think if you're Dabo Swinney, though, offensively, you'd like to see a drive that gets in the end zone.
Moffa, the running back, he'll get the call, 1st down and a 2-yard play maybe. 2nd down and 8 coming up after Ian Swinson made the tackle for UConn. There's a look at Phil Moffa from Grayson. Last 2 ball games, 16 carries, 90 yards. He had 69 yards on 9 carries against Florida State. Uiagalelei, high throw for Davis Allen. I used the confidence analogy yesterday with Tony Elliott in our visit, Roddy, the offensive coordinator of Clemson, about does DJ just need to see the short stuff, build the confidence early with the throws. And in some ways, he's 7 of 17 here for 90 yards. Clemson 1 for 6 on 3rd down. And
another 3rd and long. Looks like you're getting man-to-man coverage, though.
Yep. DJ going to cut it loose. And whoa, what a catch! Incomplete, a flag down. I thought E.J. Williams had corralled it one-armed against the pass defensive Stan Cross.
Pass interference. Defense, number 17. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Well, this came within a whisker of wide receiver U.
Yeah, it did. The athleticism that this takes just to flip your hips and be able to get to this ball when someone's grabbing it. You see the length. Look, there's a reason why prototypical receivers are long, lean, twitchy. That's all the reasons.
Tyson Phommachanh has come in at quarterback. And he's going to run with it here on first down and pick up 4 to the 45. Omar Fort comes out. So Tyson Phommachanh from Bridgeport, Connecticut, went to Avon Old Farms. A 4-month recovery from a torn Achilles.
Incredible.
And his 13th career appearance here this afternoon.
And he's had a role in this offense since that Pittsburgh game when Dabo Swinney sat DJ down. And Tyson gave him a little spark.
And here's Phommachanh keeping first down and more. Down toward the Huskies 36. Roddy, is this a question of mobility with Uiagalelei, or is this just, you think, a pattern Clemson's going to have for the rest of the year?
UConn's played heavy boxes. They're saying, hey, look, if you're going to beat us, it's going to be dishing the ball. So how do you even up the numbers in the box? You go quarterback run. DJ certainly can't do it because of that mobility that you just mentioned. Tyson Phommachanh gives you that.
Quarter one is in the books at Frank Howard Field. Clemson's got the lead, and Phommachanh has them in plus territory. Game one of our ACC Network triple header continues. Presented by Subway after this. With Roddy Jones, Taylor Davis, Wes Durham, Tyson Phommachanh, and the Tigers here on 1st and 10. Phommachanh going to take a shot, and it's caught. And breaking free inside the 5. Dakari Collins finally shoved out of bounds. It's a 1st and goal scenario for Clemson.
It's a nice play down the field for Dakari Collins.
1st and goal, Tigers.
Tyson Phommachanh once again giving him a spark.
Yep. And here is Phommachanh for the touchdown.
Well, Wes, you mentioned it earlier. Talk about the mobility of DJ Uiagalelei. It just wasn't there. And as he's done over and over this season, the legs of Tyson Phommachanh really paying dividends for Clemson. The delivery downfield gets him down close. And then the legs of Tyson Phommachanh get him in the end zone.
6 plays, 66 yards for the score. BT Potter's point after makes it now 17-7. Well, while we got an exchange here on the possessions, in about a 72-hour span, Jim Mora became the head coach of the University of Connecticut Huskies, a name familiar to our ESPN family of networks, former head coach at UCLA, of the Seattle Seahawks and the Atlanta Falcons, and now all of a sudden, you're headed to Stores.
Yeah, well, how about this? You bring me in after a Clemson touchdown.
Well, we've known each other a few years, so I figured you could take it. Yeah.
No, I'll tell you what, I'm so excited to be here, and what a great opportunity for me, and can't wait to get back up to Stores tonight and get to work. Actually, I've been on the phone with a lot of high school coaches today and starting the recruiting process, but I'm really excited to be back in college football as a coach.
Well, and you know, it's been well documented, this is a challenge, and you like things like this. Everyone you've ever taken's been like this.
Yeah, you know, we first met each other in 2004 in Atlanta, and I love a challenge, and I love the fact that we've got a little bit of a rebuild, and it's going to be exciting, and it's going to challenge me, and I love that.
So Coach, I mean, you were fantastic on this side of things with the headset on the broadcasting. I'm sure you've had opportunities elsewhere. What made this challenge the right one for you to want to take?
You know, it's the right time for me to get back into coaching. You know, my kids have all grown. They're out of the house. And to me, this is just a great opportunity to go to a school that's, you know, academically and athletically, they pride themselves on excellence. It's a national brand. It's a team that needs a little jolt, and I hopefully can give that to them. And I'm just excited once again to have an opportunity.
Coach, the other thing that was noted the other day when it was announced is you're going on staff as an assistant coach for the remainder of the year, in part and parcel because of the recruiting, right?
Right. So tomorrow, when we're able to take one of our 10th coaches and move him back down, I can come on staff as an assistant coach and start to recruit. And I'm kind of fired up about that, Wes. Like, they're not going to let me call any plays or run any drills, but they're going to let me recruit.
Well, in all honesty, as an independent in football, that's probably a critical piece.
It's a critical piece in any program, as you know. Recruiting is the lifeblood of your program. That's why today, first thing I did is start calling these high school coaches in Connecticut, connecting with them, making sure that they know how important it is that we engage with each other, build these relationships, and make sure we put a fence around Connecticut and really attack the Northeast in recruiting and make sure those good players come to UConn.
Well, Connecticut's one of those states that's sneaky, putting out some really good players. You've got a history with Lou Spanos, the interim coordinator, the interim head coach. How has that helped you kind of hit the ground running here?
Well, I'll tell you what, Lou and I go back, 20 or 30 years, and we have a great relationship. I have so much respect for him. The job that he's done, taking over in a tough situation, has been remarkable. I was around those kids last night, and their energy, their enthusiasm, you look in their eye, there's no quit in them, and I attribute that to Lou and the staff. And it's something that we can build on. And I just have so much respect for Lou Spanos. Great man, great football coach. In the NFL, he's done some tremendous things. And just the familiarity has really helped.
Well, I tell you what, a lot of people throughout the NFL and around football glad to see you get back in the game, and we wish you a ton of luck. And that one almost got blocked.
You know what? I tell you what, you were setting me up here. If that had gotten blocked, I was throwing the headphones down. Hey, thanks, guys.
Appreciate you joining us.
Jim Mora on his way to Stores as the new head coach of the UConn Huskies. Appreciate the time. We'll continue from Clemson. Tigers and Huskies.
D. Simpson was just honored on the field during the break. He has served 17 overseas tours and was inducted into the Ranger Hall of Fame in Fort Benning, Georgia after his retirement this past summer. Trenton says Clemson was his dad's dream college and something they now live out together. Incredibly special to see a family tie here today, guys. Thank you to Mr. Simpson and all of our servicemen and women, like you both said earlier.
Oh, Taylor, and thank you for telling the story of Charlotte's Trenton Simpson, who is a name you probably need to have written down.
Yeah, he's a heck of a player. I do have a real question. What do you, what type of
interception? Wow. UConn comes up with the pick, and it's the corner stand cross that intercepts DJ Uiagalelei.
Interception, first down, UConn.
Uiagalelei had taken the series after Phommachanh had taken the Tigers to a touchdown, and he throws the pick to Cross on the second play.
It's a fantastic play by Stan Cross. Let's take a look at it. Slow it down. Yeah, I don't think that ever, there's no question, it doesn't ever hit the ground. Right. That's an interception. What a play by Cross. Here I am trying to ask, what do you have to do to get in the Army Ranger Hall of Fame? And Stan Cross is like, stop telling your story. We're picking the ball off.
Yep, so the pick now and the turnover, and down 10. Since they ran the opening kickback, Connecticut, quite frankly, has had a hard time building any kind of momentum here, Roddy.
If I'm UConn, if you get the right look, take a shot down the field. This is 4-down territory for you. You're in Death Valley. Try and get some of that momentum back.
Yep. We'll see what happens. Zergiotis, the quarterback, after the pick. Tigers flush him out, and they'll sack him back behind the midfield line. First guy there was Miles Murphy.
Very easy to sit up here in the booth and say, take a shot. It's very difficult to block Miles Murphy in this Clemson defensive line. See Murphy coming through. Trey Williams as well getting there in the backfield. Just a little twist gets Murphy on a guard. Williams out there defeating his block as well. You have to have time to be able to do it. It was good coverage on the back end too.
Tell you what, Trey Williams, 6'2", 300. He played 38 snaps in the loss at Pittsburgh. Big fella got a little motor to him now.
Yes, he does. They got some real dudes that can move on the inside.
Last 4 drives, Connecticut's played behind the chain, and Skalski unloads on the catch that time by Aaron Turner. What a collision at the 35. It'll be 3rd and 5.
That was a big hit. Let's see. Skalski, nice job getting his head out of the tackle.
Yep.
Hitting shoulder to chest. That's a great job for a guy that's been on the wrong end of a number of targeting calls. That's an excellent tackle. Hard hit over the middle. It's a nice catch on the other side, too.
Yep. So here's UConn, and we're going to get a timeout taken here. Are we under review? Let's see.
The ruling on the field of the catch is under further review.
Huh. All right. So we will go under review with the referee Riley Johnson. Replay officials Keith Roden, the communicator Bill Hanlon here today at Clemson. Now, Roddy, they're reviewing the catch, but are they reviewing targeting?
Well, once the play is stopped, you can review all aspects of the play. So if you stop it to review a catch, you can still review targeting. If you stop it for targeting, vice versa, you can do all of that in one. So they're going to look at all elements of the play. Now, it was not called targeting on the field. Whether or not it is called targeting, you have to confirm all aspects of it. This would apply to the defenseless player part of targeting, though. You're catching a football, you are defenseless, so forcible contact to the head or neck area is all you need. There certainly isn't forcible contact with the crown of the helmet. I do not see that there, and I think the hit comes to the chest. So then you look at the catch part of it as well. I don't think there's any question that this is a catch.
Right. And it is a great job by Skalski, and we'll go back to the Sugar Bowl against Ohio State here, because that did not work out for him.
Now this is a look this is a different look that we've seen. He does lower that helmet just a little bit, but again, I don't think that qualifies as forcible contact to the head or neck area or forcible contact with the crown of the helmet. I don't see this being targeting. I think that's a good hit, good tackle by James Skalski.
Yep.
How nervous do you think he gets at this point, though, when these things go to review?
And I think that his history book, I think to your point, though, he's adjusted.
After further review, it is a catch, and there is no foul for targeting.
And, of course, Riley Johnson stays in the good graces of the partisans there. Here, I think his game is adjusted, though. You know, he would pell-mell hit you a couple years ago, right?
Yeah.
Now he understands, and he's a veteran guy. I mean, it's super kid to visit with. And Taylor, I think Skalski's one of those guys, major college football, understands, hey, look, if I'm going to do it, I got to make sure I'm in the framework.
You know, guys, I actually heard James Skalski on a podcast with teammate Darian Rencher, who hosts his own podcast, and they had this targeting conversation because it has been such a part of Skalski's last few years. And he said, you do have to completely flip the script of what was imprinted on us as kids growing up playing football. But he said, watching the tape, I can understand and see it. Of course, like a lot of people, he's leaning on the side of having different levels of punishment, but he does understand the rule, just trying to adjust accordingly.
Well, and we saw in the spring when James Skalski, the football player, finishes, James Skalski, the coach, won't be far behind.
He will immediately start, and I have a feeling I know where he's going to start.
Here's a toss, and trying to get to the perimeter is Mensah, and tried to run through the angle for the first down, and is held up short by at least a yard or two. And Lou Spanos plays with house money here.
And you know, James Skalski has filled so many roles here as UConn starting to go with a little bit of tempo on this 4th and 2. Let's see what they go with.
They're going to try Mensah, and he doesn't get it. Boy, you're running right at the teeth. And Miles Murphy, the biggest growl of the Tigers.
And I don't know if there was a read aspect of this, but if there was, Uiagalelei should have pulled it. I mean, he had one-on-one to the other side. You can cut up and get a couple yards. But Clemson stands up on a 4th down, gets that offense back on the field.
So 4 plays, they give it away on downs after the pick. They go 8 yards to the Connecticut Huskies. And here comes DJU back on the field for Dabo Swinney's team. Tigers off the 32. 10-point game here in this first half. And Rencher, who we spoke of a moment ago, a yard or so straight up the middle.
You know, if you're UConn, they've kind of got a player that's playing the quarterback on that read stuff. With Uiagalelei in the game, if I'm the defensive coach for UConn, you don't even worry about it.
Right.
I mean, I doubt Clemson, I heavily doubt Clemson is telling Uiagalelei to pull it, and they won't. Now, when Phommachanh comes back in, you go back to playing the quarterback part of that zone read.
Quick throw, and boy, trying to get Dakari Collins out in space, and they can't. Ian Swinson, the linebacker, junior from Willamette, Illinois, made the stop.
The closing speed of Swinson there was impressive. I mean, he got there in a heartbeat. We have not seen Justin Ross come back in the game since he limped off, so he's not on the field.
Roddy, he went to the locker room, and I don't know that we've seen him back on the bench.
Yeah.
Rencher stays in the game. It's 3rd and long with Uiagalelei in the gun. 2-by-2 look for the Tigers. DJ wide open. Brenningstool. Jake Brenningstool from Brentwood, Tennessee, in a big play into plus territory on a 32-yard throw.
How fired up are they about this tight end? 6'6", a little slight for a tight end at 235, but an excellent receiving threat. UConn drops 8. DJ Uiagalelei has plenty of time, and Brenningstool finds a soft spot in the middle of that zone. That shows you that when DJ has time, they've got some talent out there at receiver and at tight end to get him the football.
Tell you what, Tony Elliott's the offensive coordinator, but his tight end room is a showcase.
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
and they need to get him more involved, to be honest with you.
Uiagalelei, quick throw and drop. Dakari Collins, who had Wortham closing.
Again, and this one wasn't on DJ, but again, these easy access throws to the boundary or to the field, just a little outs. I mean, those were the things that really allowed Clemson offenses in the past to get rolling. You complete one of those on 1st down, get you 6-7 yards. Now you're into your offense. You're into your tempo. You're in a 2nd and medium, and you're on schedule.
Ball flipped it to Rencher. Looking for a block. Darian around the corner. He'll have the 1st down. Out of bounds inside the 30 at the 27 of Connecticut. Shoved out by Dixon, the safety.
You got the big fella, Mitchell Mays, out in front blocking. They kind of faked to one side, set up the screen to the other. Watch Big 77. Come on, big fella. Throw a block. Oh, that's a pancake. Get some syrup out there.
Stan Cross on the back end of that. DJ looking for help. He'll throw it out of bounds. Roddy, is his limited mobility now limiting his width of the field? I mean, he looked right that time, and then when he didn't see it, it was gone.
Well, you know, there's a couple of things that's going to happen. He's not going to scramble. I think that is very clear. Yeah, and he's going to get the ball out. So if it's not there initially, he's going to throw the ball away.
13 of 24 for 129.
The big question is, what does that do for his fundamentals?
In trouble and threw it away. Nobody in the neighborhood. I think this may end up drawing a intentional grounding flag.
Absolutely.
Swinson was back there again, the linebacker.
Intentional grounding. Offense number 5. It's a loss of down at the spot of the foul. 3rd down.
And this is the right call from Riley Johnson.
Yeah. And, watching DJ in the pocket, Wes, this is a game that you should control. You don't control it yet, but I mean, he is a vulnerable target back there. He cannot move, and if you're not protecting him, you're opening him up to some shots. So, I mean, if I'm Dabo Swinney, I think you got to think about taking him out of the game. He's just too vulnerable in the pocket.
Brenningstool in motion. Little counter. Here goes Rencher firing through. And he will drive back toward the 32. Travis Jones the tackle, and B.T. Potter going to come out and try what would be another long field goal. Hit earlier in the ball game from 49. It's a season best for Potter. And this will be right inside 50 again.
B.T. Potter to kick.
Will Swinney to hold. Kick is away. And B.T. Potter hits another one. 8:01 to go in the 1st half. Clemson grinding to pull away from UConn, leading by 13. 8 minutes to go in this 1st half with Roddy Jones, Taylor Davis. Mike Moore is our producer. Nick Young, our director. Welcome back to our ACC Network coverage of ACC football. Game 1 of 3 today. We'll send you to Blacksburg, Cotter and Herzlich, Jalen Johnson all standing by. Then in prime time, presented by Geico, the Deeks in the pack for controlling the Atlantic. Uh-oh, here's Bruton now. Going to field it on the hop inside the 10 at the 7. Ran the opening kick back 99 yards, and this one to the 21. Well, don't forget, tomorrow we got a doubleheader of women's college basketball for you here on ACC Network. We'll start at the Dome. Vaughn Reed and Niele Ivey match wits. It's the first conference game of the year on the ladies' side, Roddy.
All right.
With Notre Dame and Syracuse, and then that'll be followed. We'll take you to Raleigh, where number 5 NC State lost their opener to South Carolina the other night. They'll meet the Florida Gators 2 o'clock Eastern on ACC Network and streaming live on the ESPN app. We got a Tiger injured on the play. On the kick return, we'll step aside from Frank Howard Field. Continue with more. Clemson by 13. UConn's ball when we come back. Clemson 20 and UConn 7 with under 8 to go, and the injured Tiger, we believe, is Sergio Allen. There are 2 number 45s, but this is a sophomore linebacker from Fort Valley, Georgia, who was injured on the kick return by Bruton. And they're trying to get Sergio to the cart here.
Number 45, Sergio Allen, injured on the play.
And the Tiger training staff and sports medicine folks out. And Dabo Swinney there as well. So UConn will have the ball at its 21 when play resumes, and Clemson with a 13-point lead here in a ball game that was sparked by Brian Bruton's 99-yard kick return for his 2nd touchdown of the year to start the ball game. And Roddy, to a degree, and you said this on the last possession by the Tigers before Potter kicked his 2nd 49-yard field goal, this is a game that's kind of been in a grinding mode for Clemson.
Yeah.
Because of the kick return, but also because the things that might have been going a little better the last 2 weeks against Florida State and Louisville have kind of been a little stagnant here in the first half.
Well, they have not had the elements of the quarterback run. They have not had consistent ability to run the football today, which was a little surprising. Not a little surprising, very surprising. And while it doesn't really feel like Clemson's being threatened in this game, they have not yet pulled away and been dominant.
Here are the Huskies going to work, and a flag thrown from center field on the carry by Bruton. Okay, let's see what we got here.
Holding. Offense number 83. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Brandon Naminsky, freshman tight end, guilty of the hold.
It's a good call, but watch the toss of the flag. 83's on the left side of your screen. He's just going to grab Balin Spector, get him on the ground.
It's an All-America flag throw.
It's fantastic. I mean, it needs to go on the teach tape, to be honest with you. He throws it from the logo in the middle of the field, from the ball, and hits the ACC logo.
Here's another
False
flag.
start. Offense number 63. 5-yard penalty. First down.
I'm going to say it was either Noel Ofori Inadu, 62, the left guard, or 64, Christian Haynes, the right guard. One of those. I'm going to go 62.
Sounds good to me.
Ofori Inadu.
You want to try that again? It's Niadu.
Niadu, I'm sorry. Thank you. Quick throw, intercepted. Goodrich comes up with the carom off the pass intended for Jeffries. And the Tigers are going to get a red zone opportunity on the pick. First interception of the year from Mario Goodrich, Roddy.
UConn had a nice play that gets pushed back, and then you just don't catch the football. I mean, it's basically handing it to Mario Goodrich for an interception. Types of mistakes you absolutely can't make on the road in Death Valley, hostile environment against a really good football team.
Ball at the 17 of the Huskies. Uiagalelei's come back in with Moffitt, the running back spot. This is Dakari Collins wide to the left at the bottom of your screen.
Yeah, only one guy over there with him.
That's Bo Collins in motion. Uiagalelei, the slant, overthrows Dakari Collins, incomplete.
And that's where the immobility of that knee may come in. He's not quite able to set his feet. I mean, that ball looked like it got tipped. It just came out of his hand wrong, but he comes off that fake. You're not able to flip your hips, plant that back leg, that right leg, and drive that football on that bang eight, that skinny post.
Here's a quick toss. Maffa trying to get to the edge. And he will fight to the corner, get knocked out around the 13-yard line. It'll be a gain of right at 5. 3rd and 5 coming for Clemson. Stan Cross angled him out. There's Phommachanh, who took the Tigers to a touchdown. Tyson scoring on the ground early here in the second quarter of play. It was his first rushing score of the year, by the way. Collins and Brown to the right. That's Allen, the tight end, in motion. Uiagalelei looking to throw, revs it up, shoots it to the end zone. Collins couldn't hang on. Coverage provided by Dixon, the safety for UConn. And here's B.T. Potter to kick another one with 6:34 to go.
It's another one where the ball just comes out weird. It's fluttering, it's low and behind, or excuse me, low and way out in front. Almost looks like it got tipped. Maybe that one did.
Roddy Clemson is 2 for 9 in the first half on 3rd down. Yeah. And that makes them 11 of 37 in the last 2.5 games.
The best they've looked is with Tyson Phommachanh at quarterback.
30-yard field goal by Potter. Good. So B.T. Potter kicks it higher than the uprights. Tigers move it to a 16-point advantage. The kick through the end zone from Potter. So Connecticut's 6th possession of this first half will start from its 25. And the Huskies, who have struggled mightily against this Tiger defense in their last 5 possessions, Roddy, with 6.5 to go, got to get Jack Zeragiotis.
Yeah, you need something to go right for you. You're going to need maybe not a chunk play, but certainly a gain like they had on the first play before the penalty, like a 10-yard gain to get you going.
Only 22 yards in the last 19 plays, and a rolling catch of the football there by Turner. Aaron Turner from Ellicott City, Maryland, had 3 catches 2 weeks ago at Middle Tennessee State. I should say 3 weeks ago at Middle Tennessee State. They played on the 22nd of October.
Look, that throw, that delivery told me a lot about Jack Zeragiotis. His ability, he's been harassed in the pocket, but he moves up and delivers a football, keeps his eyes downfield. It's a really nice play by a young quarterback.
Nathan Carter's coming to the ball game. He's their leading rusher coming into the day at almost 500 yards on the season. He airmails that one over the top of Marion's head. Balin Spector was out there for the Tigers in the throwing lane. Well, this UConn program that became an independent a handful of years ago, Randy Edsall announced his retirement at the end of the season on a Sunday, and the next day it became effective immediately. That was after a loss to Fresno State on August 28th in a Week 0 game, and a September 4th loss to Holy Cross at home in East Hartford at Rensselaer Field. Here's a 2nd down throw. And batted in the air, caught off the carom by Turner over the 50 to the 48 of Clemson. Intended for Clarcius. Tigers got a hand in the throw lane, and then Turner keeps up the carom for a gain of 15.
The ability to get there by Nate Wiggins is absolutely elite. Now, he's unfortunate that it ends up in the arms of a UConn receiver, but Nate Wiggins, the closing speed, the quickness, and then the length. I mean, that's a dude that's all of 6'2", being able to get his hand in there. Luckily for UConn, they ended up getting a good play out of it.
And the Huskies now get maybe a yard on 1st down, so they're in Tiger territory at the 47. Roddy, to finish the thought on UConn, then it comes down to what, Friday, Thursday? Jim Mora is named the new head coach. Yeah. And all of a sudden, Connecticut will restart again in a program that has 31 wins since 2011.
And we sort of talked about it with Coach Mora. They're doing it the hard way as an independent in an age where
There's
you've
no
got
foul.
so much.
Timeout. UConn.
You've got so much
First of the half.
conference realignment and restructuring. You've got conferences growing in number.
Right.
I mean, just look at what some of these conferences have done. Obviously,
This
the
will be a
SEC going to
30-second
16
timeout.
teams, but Conference USA doing what they did. The American adding more teams, losing 3, adding more.
You got the MAC expanding.
The MAC
potentially expanding.
So the question is, what happens to the landscape of college football for an independent? If you start playing 9 conference games in most of these conferences, where does UConn find its games? And it is. I mean, you saw the graphic. We don't need to go through it, but it is a program that struggled in the last decade.
Yep. And Lou Spanos, at 50 years of age, elevated to interim head coach on the 6th of September. Had been the defensive coordinator there with Randy Edsall since 2019. This is a full football life for Coach Spanos. And he is a guy who spent time at Alabama as an analyst. NFL ties, as Jim Mora talked about with us in his visit. Here's a little throwback, and it's a loose ball, and Clemson hustled for it. Did they recover it? No. It looked like the Tigers, Sheridan Jones, almost came up with the goods on the backwards lateral.
Obviously, this is going to be
ball was
reviewed,
loose
but if
and
Sheridan
recovered out of
Jones
bounds.
is able to
Before it went out of
recover it
bounds.
inbounds,
Oh, he had it,
and I
Ronnie.
think he did have control of it inbounds.
Yep.
This is going to be reviewed. If any part of Sheridan Jones is touching the in line, touching the out of bounds line, actually, I don't know if he had control. I think it came out.
But Dabo Swinney's already taken the timeout because this one might be worth the wait.
I don't know if that was just the shadows that I saw with the ball kind of getting away from him.
The ruling on the field of the fumble is under further review.
But if you have control of it inbounds, like, that's a recovery.
He covers the ball, slides out of bounds, and we're definitely going under review here. And Sheridan Jones with a very heady play here.
Well, you're trying to do a little trickery. The overthrow from the running back.
Knees in, ball in hand.
Oh, see,
juggles it, hitting
he's
hit the
juggling
white.
it. Yeah, and that's what it is. So you have to, again, it was called out of bounds. You have to have indisputable video evidence that he had control inbounds before going out. Nothing that we've seen, this view isn't going to tell us either. Nothing that we've seen shows you indisputable video evidence of him having control in the field of play before he loses it out of bounds.
Looked like Zergiotis was trying to dive at it and punch it out of bounds.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Zergiotis is going to hustle for it.
Yeah.
Now look, we're looking at all these views. There's nothing there that's going to have you overturn the call on the field of it being out of bounds.
Right. So with 4:41 to go here, Dabo Swinney burns a timeout, and it's a good investment on the timeout. You want to make sure that this gets reviewed, whether it goes your way or not. You're already up 16 here. And Riley Johnson and his crew, no matter what the discussion is here on possession, they've got to get the management of the game correct too. Ball spot, time remaining, things like that.
And they had that, the time remaining, the time's going to run no matter what because we're not under 2 minutes yet. So they're, trying to figure it all out.
Now, Clemson did not get charged the timeout, by the way. They waived that because it went under review, so no timeout. And now we got a lot going on here, don't we?
A lot going on. We got to have a replay.
I mean, for this to be fairly clear cut.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. The backwards pass was out of bounds. 3rd down.
Okay, now, Roddy, the crowd boos here, but this is about possession and control, right? Yeah. This is not about, he touches it, he's got it, but he doesn't control it, right?
It's about possession control and the call on the field. I mean, you heard Riley Johnson, the call stands. You have to have indisputable video evidence to overturn it. And I think the bobble as he's going out of bounds kind of shows you.
Shouldn't it be backed up to it was scrimmage from the 39. The play went out of bounds, though. some 10 yards behind that, didn't it?
I think it was the right spot because they originally spotted the football. They called it out of bounds. They spotted the football originally, so I don't think they needed to move it at all. Clemson's able to get off the field as you would expect on a third, and that's a short walk, a stroll in the park.
Slowly becoming a zip code.
Now it's a bus ride.
Yeah, now we're bus riding.
Right.
Will Swinney also back in.
McFadden to punt it away. Brown waits. He's going to let it hit, and it will skip out of bounds inside the 30. Don't forget ACC Network is your home of basketball. We got a college basketball quadruple header next Friday. We got women's games at 2 and 4 in the afternoon. Then Towson and Pittsburgh at 6. And the finale, Mike Krzyzewski in his final ride with the Duke Blue Devils. They welcome Lafayette to Cameron Indoor Stadium, 8 o'clock Eastern. Paulo Banchero. And I'll offer this. Trevor Keels is a name you probably need to know. And after a triple-double last night,
Davis had a triple-double.
Wendell Moore, man.
I'm sorry, Wendell Moore, yeah. Give him his credit, man.
Fooled around and had a triple-double.
Yeah.
Tigers from the 26 and Maffa on the carry.
Was that you going summertime? Last week, messed around and got a triple-double.
Yeah.
Okay, I see you.
Yeah.
Little Will Smith. Okay, again, the bingo card. I did not have Wes Durham dropping rap lyrics either.
Is that really? Is that the full lyric? That's just part of it.
Oh, no, but the way you said it, I mean, you messed around and had a triple-double. It's clear. That was clear.
Tell you what, Wendell Moore, Joey Baker, I think they're big keys for Duke's success with the young stars that Coach K has on the floor. Uiagalelei trying to cut it loose, and Bo Collins defended by Cross. It bounds away incomplete.
I think the unfortunate thing and the frustrating thing about what you've seen from this Clemson offense is it's a lot of what we've seen all season. You see the drive chart. So we take a look at our marathon drive recap. You had a couple of touchdowns early on. You stalled with a bunch of field goals, and I think the frustration is a lot of these throws are things that we've seen against better opponents. You just thought they'd be solved against a UConn team that seems to be overmatched.
Had 3 minutes to go, and you're looking at Uiagalelei in second in the full, or third and 8 rather, I should say. DJ shoots it down the field, and behind Collins, a lot of hand fighting going on with Wortham in front of the Clemson bench. And 3 and out goes Clemson. First time today that's happened for the Tigers, outside of the 2-play interception thrown earlier to Cross.
And look, it's been difficult on DJ Uiagalelei this season. He's had a rotating cast of receivers around him, so the miscommunications downfield, you can understand some of that stuff. But the missed throws, those are the ones that are frustrating. That's a back shoulder throw where you got to give your receiver a chance, and just misses low and outside.
First punt of the day for Will Spires. Drops it low, and it checks up around the 32, and that's where it'll be downed. Jack Maddox, the long snapper, downfield off the Spires. And that gives the ball to UConn. Don't forget our Owners Insurance halftime report coming up. Syracuse and Louisville update. Team of mystery, not much of one today, Roddy. Cards off to a great start. Jordan and the guys will also preview Miami and Florida State. JC, EMAC, EJ, Coach Rick, and Eddie Royals in the house today at Truist Field. Look out. KJ Henry, speaking of Winston-Salem, with the sack.
You walk down on the field and get around this Clemson defensive line, and you see exactly why they're as dominant as they are. And a guy like KJ Henry.
Clemson. First of this half.
Let me be honest. When you go down there,
3,
do you have some flashbacks
please.
to Brandon Thompson and some of those guys?
No, I didn't until you started mentioning them. Keep bringing them up. Absolutely. Some of the greats of Clemson past. Yeah, look, I took those hits.
Did you and C.J. Spiller exchange pleasantries?
I did not. No, I was gonna tackle him again. But
yeah. It'd have been your only tackle.
Yeah.
All right, quick check of the day in the ACC. It started on Thursday night with Pittsburgh beating Carolina in overtime. You know, Syracuse and Louisville are underway. Here's the way the rest of it looks. Florida State and Miami, 3:30 over on ESPN. Same time they go in Atlanta. Phil Jurkovec, second game back against Georgia Tech. And here on ACCN, Duke and Virginia Tech from Blacksburg. Roddy, a thought on Notre Dame and Virginia. Brennan Armstrong, game time decision.
Yeah, and here's the thing. If I'm Bronco Mendenhall, I think about not playing Brennan Armstrong because it all comes down to next week against Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And I want Brennan Armstrong as healthy as possible. You never want to punt on a game.
30-second timeout.
But the goal is winning
Clemson.
an ACC championship
Second
this
and a
season.
half.
And the best way to do that if you're Virginia is to get Brennan Armstrong healthy for next week.
Well, the game tonight in Winston-Salem is the driver's seat game in the Atlantic. And our friends at Football Power Index, Roddy, have already projected.
You're just doing this to mess with Packer, aren't you?
Well, and I know you're a big fan, too.
Well,
So stay with the win goes to 89%. Wake, 74%.
Look, here's the thing. If they win, they're in a good spot. If they lose, they're not. It's as simple as that, Wes. And the reason Wake is lower right here at 74% is because they play Clemson next week. Look, we don't need FBI to tell us this. You win and you're in the driver's seat. Wake, win out and you're in there. NC State, win out and you're in there. That's it.
Hey, but the guys in purple may have a say-so. They just need some help, believe it or not.
NC State loses 2 out of the last 3. Wake loses 2 out of the last 3. Clemson's in the ACC championship game.
There's a ball loose, knocked away, incomplete. And the Tigers are going to get UConn to punt the ball. 4th down and about a dozen. Jack Zaragiotis, you see 7 of 15 for 71 yards here in this first half.
Honestly, I'm kind of surprised that Wake would have only been at 74% for FPI because FPI doesn't watch the games, and I would guess that it would be a coin flip for FPI next week.
Brown will wait and signal for the fair catch at the 24. Hunter Helms is warming up on that sideline for Clemson. He is the number 3 quarterback, freshman from West Columbia, South Carolina, who's only played in 1 ball game this year. And there is number 18, but DJ Uiagalelei is going to come out. Tyson Phommachanh was receiving some attention from one of the trainers on the sideline.
The most efficient drive that they've had is the one where Tyson Phommachanh took the majority of the snaps.
Right.
DJ Uiagalelei, the last 2 drives, has really struggled to connect with some of his receivers.
Clemson at the 24. Tigers with a 23-7 lead. DJ going to cut it loose and off the fingertips of Bo Collins, who tried to make a leaping grab of it against Malik Dixon.
And look, here's the thing at playing the quarterback position. That's a throw that gets out to the receiver, but it's a throw that's number 1 late and number 2 inside. Put that ball on the sideline for your receiver and throw it as soon as he's about to come out of his break. The anticipation is just not there. If you don't like it early, it's just a smash route. Go to that little stop and get a positive gain.
2nd down, the full 10. Connecticut really pressuring Uiagalelei. Knocked him down as he cut it loose. It was Travis Jones fighting through there. So was Kavan Jones.
All right, so the question now is the drop back passing game with DJ Uiagalelei. He's a statue in the pocket right now, an easy target. You know where he's going to be. So what do you do to get something going? If I'm Clemson, you try with your best screen. Maybe you get Davis Allen on a tight end screen, one of these running backs.
Uiagalelei hit 5 of his first 9. Since then, it's been a real struggle. Only 8 of 21, and he'll fire here to the near side, and E.J. Williams can't bring it in. And Clemson will go 3 and out with 2:21 to go in this first half. And that is the 2nd straight 3 and out trip for the Tigers on offense.
And they may have another shot at this, even if UConn were to run the ball twice.
Right.
That would burn 80 seconds. I don't know. You do the math on this broadcast. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do I do it well?
Well, we didn't say that.
Tigers are 2 for 11 on 3rd down.
Let's see, you got 120, 140 seconds. They can burn 80 of it. So what's 140 minus 80, Wes? 60.
That's it.
It's a minute left.
And they got a
Call the timeout. Yeah, well, that's how you get to the 60. You call the timeout, and you got a minute left. Look at that. You had to give me a little time to pull out the abacus.
Well, Taylor, this has been a bit of attrition for Clemson here in this first half. Justin Ross, I think, has come back to the sideline on crutches. Is that right? I mean, Tigers have been battling the whole way here in the opening 30 minutes, themselves and the opponent.
They really have, and honestly, guys, when you were talking about DJ Uiagalelei, it reminded me of what Coach Swinney told us this week. There is a mental aspect in him getting this many game reps. Coach told us that he feels like he's on the back end of the storm, but he wants him to continue with that momentum. And guys, down here on the sideline, I mean, you know when this crowd is happy and you know when they're disappointed, and he's having to handle both.
Yep, sure is. So here is Spires to punt. And it is a low liner. And going to the far sideline is Keelan Marion, and he scoops it up and is promptly shoved out of bounds around the 37-yard line. 40-yard punt by Spires. So that's where Connecticut will get started. Brian Bruton's 99-yard kickoff return for a score got us cranked up here today.
Yeah, it did. It was an explosion out of the gates. And then the other story, this Clemson offense, I mentioned in the open that they are improving. If this performance continues, I think this week we'd have to say that they've regressed.
Zergiotis, and we got a false start on UConn.
False start. Offense. Number 53. 5-yard penalty.
7th penalty of the first half on Connecticut. 9 total in this opening 30 minutes. And Lou Spanos would love to have some degree of offensive momentum before the half, because Clemson gets the ball to start second half. Zergiotis dials up the tight end. Jay Rose. A couple of catches today, making his 18th career start. Skalski the stop for the Tigers. 2nd and short. And the throw caught Turner midfield. UConn moving with the ball now, and under 2 minutes to go. Huskies have 2 timeouts.
Some confidence building from Zergiotis. His movement in the pocket has been very impressive.
Well, he had a little shoulder and head fake there. A little pump fake by Zergiotis. Tried to go back to Rose, the tight end, and it's incomplete to stop the clock.
He tried to move up in the pocket there, but Miles Murphy was peeking his head in, saying, yeah, I don't think you want to come this way, big fella.
Yeah, Miles Murphy became the pocket.
Yeah, exactly. Ruccaroro was over there as well, kind of wanting to corral him.
Just look, 33 now is new to football. That was the term that got used by Venables yesterday.
Yeah, well, that's scary.
Ruccaroro is new to football. He's new at 6'4", 295. And Zergiotis got cleaned out on the blitz from the backside. Malcolm Green came in and hit Zergiotis as he cut it loose. Incomplete with 100 seconds to play.
Malcolm Green came like a bat out of you-know-what from the left side before anybody realized he was coming. Ryan Van de Mark. Apologies, I got a little flustered there. Ryan Van de Mark didn't quite see him early enough, couldn't get out.
Right.
Zergiotis did a good job of getting the ball out, though.
3rd and 10. And Clemson didn't have to use the timeout. Well, they used it earlier. There's Zergiotis, wants to throw, sack, ball loose. And UConn fell on it with Haynes, the right guard, recovering it. Miles Murphy knocked it loose. And UConn, with 1:25 to go, is going to let the clock wind all the way here before McFadden punts it. 6th sack of the first half by the Tigers.
Miles Murphy, look at him on the left side, just a straight arm to Van de Mark and pushes him into the backfield. Look, in games like this where you have a team that is overmatched, you want your best players to prove why they are your best players and show the dominance. That's about as dominant as it gets. Miles Murphy saying, this is a big boys game.
Will Brown's longest punt return, 17 yards. Brown will signal for and make the fair catch at the 12-yard line with 49 seconds to go. And Clemson one last look at it before the halftime horn.
And the question that I'm going to continue to ask until we see something is DJ Uiagalelei the best choice at this point in time? The struggles that he's had really throughout the season have crept back up. Is it due to the injury? Is it due to the knee? He looks vulnerable in the pocket, can't move around all that much, and just has been off.
That's Davis Allen, the tight end, in motion. Quick throw, and Dakari Collins, the catch, steps out of bounds near the 20. Clock stops. Clemson has kicked field goals, 2 of 49 and 1 of 30 for BT Potter in this first half to go with the 2 touchdowns. Now a long throw. Bo Collins in the neighborhood, and boy, Stan Cross has played very well here in this first half. Has an interception for UConn, and he's been tough to deliver the football on, Roddy.
Stan Cross could have intercepted this one. He opts to keep his hand on the back of the receiver and bat it away with one hand. Honestly, if he plays that like a receiver, he picks that ball off.
38 seconds to go, 3rd and short now. Clemson out of timeouts. Uiagalelei a lob, and Allen the catch near the 40-yard line. First down Clemson with Trey Wortham defending. Nice grab by Davis Allen of 19 yards.
A nice delivery of DJ Uiagalelei, putting it where his receiver can go make a play under pressure. Allen keeping that right foot in bounds. Nice job.
Great catch.
That might be on your list.
Could. That's potential. You betcha. Uiagalelei railing for Collins, who came back to catch it. And is it ruled a catch? It is at the UConn 33-yard line.
Nice adjustment by Collins. Oh, see, does that right foot hit out of bounds? And DJ's got something going on with that hand.
Yeah, might have gotten hit maybe into a helmet.
Possibly.
And now we're going to get a review.
Yeah, no surprise
Previous
there.
play is under further review.
As that right foot, as he was kind of turning around, look at that right foot got close. We'll see if it actually ever touches out of bounds or if it just hovered.
So Riley Johnson and his crew will take a look. Don't forget Auto Owners Insurance halftime report coming up from Truist Field in Winston-Salem. Jordan Cornette standing by with the rest of the huddle crew. What do you think?
Let's take a look.
Knee down, ball caught, Roddy.
That's what it looks like, yeah. And then again, catch on the field.
Knee down, ball caught.
Knee down, inbounds. I think that, that right foot is also the when it comes down, it's inbounds as well. So I think this one stands or is confirmed.
Collins came in just 2 catches on the year. And he has 6 for 97 if this stands in the first half.
Certainly has been a favorite target today.
Well, you have Bo Collins, 12 catches in his last 3
ruling
games.
of the field stands.
So the ball will be at the UConn 32-yard line. Bo Collins had 12 catches in the last 3. Remember now, Ladson and got on the shelf. Joe is dressed but has not played today.
Yeah, and Justin Ross is in a boot and crutches on the sideline now. So,
boy, that list has just continued to grow.
I would say you would consider it long and distinguished at this point.
Exactly right. Uiagalelei, pressure coming, gonna lob it for Collins, and he cannot get there. No flag on the play. It looked like Wortham had him wrapped up. Clock stops with 21 seconds to play first half. Now all of a sudden the clock is working against Clemson.
Yeah, it is. Let's take a look at this. sort of the grab of the arm. Honestly, the hand fighting down the field, there's physicality on both sides. At the end, you do see the arm grab by Wortham. I actually like the no call there. The hand fighting is what caused early on him not to be able to get to that ball, and then it was overthrown. I don't think he interfered with the ability to catch the football.
Blitz coming. Going to take the deep shot. And it's caught! Bo Collins all the way through. Touchdown, Clemson.
If you're a Clemson fan, you see this and you're like, why don't we get this all the time? This throw is, mwah, it's a chef's kiss throw right on the pylon. It's fantastic. He drops it right in the bread basket of Bo Collins. That Bosco connection there.
Yep.
High school teammates. Nice drive by DJ Uiagalelei.
4 for 4, 80. The point after by Potter good. Uiagalelei 4 for 6, 88 yards, and the touchdown.
Watch the placement. Collins does a nice job of holding his line. As a receiver, it's easy. Once you pass that defensive back to start to fade away, let the throw fade you away. You hold your line at the bottom of the numbers, give the quarterback a lot of room to put it over your outside shoulder so you can fade away from that defensive back, catch the football, and get in the end zone.
Well, the emergence of Bo Collins continues. Touchdown last week at Louisville, big touchdown catch here at the end of the first half today.
And that Clemson pipeline of St. John Bosco, the excellent California high school, to Clemson, South Carolina, pays dividends. They got themselves a 2-for-1 with Uiagalelei and Bo Collins.
You bet. And now the folks gathered around Frank Howard Field feel a little better about this first half with 15 ticks.
They should. They should. The offense shows signs of life. Your quarterback has a nice drive that you can build on.
There'll be no return here for Bruton. That ball from Potter was kicked to Seneca. And UConn, Lou Spanos, I'm going to guess here it's a touch of the knee and we go to the locker rooms. But
did you say that kickoff was kicked to Seneca?
I did. Which is that way, by the way.
I was going to ask, you know, directionally.
Yeah, it's
if we'd have been gone the other way, it'd have been kicked to Anderson, right?
Maybe more towards Central, but you're in the neighborhood.
Okay, I'm in the neighborhood. I'm in the neighborhood.
It'll be a touch of the knee, and off to the locker room we'll go. A little bit of a longish first half. Almost 2 hours to play this first half here today at Tiger Town. But it ends on a happy note for Clemson after 30 minutes of play. Started off, though, with UConn running the opening kick back 99 yards for a score. But Dabo and the Tigers have scored 30 in a row, and he's standing by with Taylor.
Thanks, guys. All right, Coach, a lot of special teams plays to start it out and a complete drive there at the end to close it. What were your thoughts on the first half?
Sloppy. Unbelievably sloppy. Disappointed, obviously, with the kick return. Just really poor. We don't contain the ball. And that kids, they've had a couple of those this year, and we knew that. I mean, that's been one of the best things they've done. So really disappointed with that, and that set the tone. But we came back and got a special team score on our own. So it was good to answer that. Defensively, he's done a great job. We created some turnovers and some stops on downs. And then, you know, just missed plays. Oh, my goodness. We've had so many missed plays. Really not crisp at all. The drive right there was great. You know, it was a great drive.
For our Subway game refresh, Roddy, and the rush yards for UConn pop off the page. The third downs for Clemson, the concern.
Yeah, time.
So Connecticut will kick it away. The last 32 plays for Lou Spanos' team has produced 42 yards. Darian Richard deep to take the kick of Joe McFadden. And an onside try by UConn is recovered by Clemson. McFadden tried the little hop skip dribbler, and Clemson was right there to cover it.
Well, it's a great job by Keith McGuire That's an unforgivable position in the center of that kickoff return team. McGuire senses that it was coming, grabs it, gets down. It's a nice job by McGuire.
So plus territory from the Connecticut 46-yard line, and here comes DJ Uiagalelei with Phil Maffa in the backfield. Uiagalelei finished the first half in style with a nice touchdown pass to Bo Collins. Minute gone. And DJ faked the run, now throws, and that's Maffa in traffic. Took a big shot from Durante Jones, but held on at the 32.
It's a great job by Phil Maffa. He gets held as he's coming past the line of scrimmage and then makes a nice catch between a couple of defenders.
Quickly another 1st and 10 set. And they'll hand to Maffa. And he'll cut inside the 30 for a gain of 3. Phil Maffa now his 9th carry of the ball game. 16 yards so far for the freshman from Loganville. Now Uiagalelei with the play clock winding. Looking for another quick throw off the hands of Bo Collins. And Stan Cross almost ran into his 2nd pick of the day.
It's the other part of the frustration you've had when DJ Uiagalelei has been able to make throws, and this is really over the course of the season. It's been inconsistent on the other end.
Right.
At times of dropping the football, helping out your quarterback. I mean, the receiver play that we've seen at this university over the years, anything in the area was caught. This year it has not been the case.
We're going to flip it to Maffa. Races through one line. He'll get the first down inside the 20 to the 17. Marcus Tate, big 74, who Roddy talked about in the first half, out here paving road for Maffa.
You know, watch the right side. Marcus Tate, number 74, as you said, out front. Maffa does a nice job outrunning the pursuit from the inside. He's able to get the first down. It's a nice call on the 3rd down. Easy throw for your quarterback. Nicely set up. Get one of your playmakers in space.
Yep, 1st and 10. Ball inside the 20. Pistol set for Clemson. Play fake by DJ. Rolling to his right, and he will fire incomplete, being pressured by Eric Watts, sophomore from Sumter, South Carolina. Again, one of a handful of guys from South Carolina on this UConn roster.
And again, you're trying a boot with DJ Uiagalelei, who's very clearly hampered. I mean, if it's not wide open, he's not getting around any sort of pursuit to the outside.
Yep. So you see the bunch look to the top of the screen, the 3 guys, including the tight end, Allen. Here's a pitch, and Maffa found the cutback at the 15, and taken down shy of the 10 is Phil Maffa. Durante Jones and Kevon Jones, one of 2 of the 3 Joneses on that starting defensive unit for UConn.
Yeah, we Joneses, we run deep.
Oh, I forgot the one up here.
Yeah, well, there you go.
So 3rd and 4 for Clemson.
I credit Tony Elliott for finding creative ways to run the football there, getting on the perimeter quick.
Allen, the tight end, to the left side. Uiagalelei to Maffa, straight ahead, and going to be close at the 8 for the first down.
You know, it kind of feels like at halftime the Clemson offensive staff sat down together and said, look, I know what the looks are saying. It's heavy boxes, which means they have more people in the box than we can block. Let's still find ways to run the football. Thought he got close to the first down, but it's going to set up 4th and 1.
Yeah,
Clemson going for it.
Now 4 of 14 in the ball game on 3rd down.
Looks like DJ Uiagalelei may be under center. Do you sneak it with a bum knee?
Sure do. And Brenningstool helped him with the push. And that'll be enough for the first down. And it'll be 1st and goal now for Clemson.
It does warm your heart to see a quarterback sneak. We'll say that.
You have been the leader of college football. Get under center and sneak.
You know, I won't claim to be the leader of all of college football. Maybe the ACCs. I've had some people on the bandwagon with me nationally, I think.
All right. First and goal. DJ shoots it toward the end zone, incomplete, looking for the tight end. Or it's actually Drew Swinney, 81. And we're going to pass interference on Clemson.
Yeah, it's a very clear pick. That's a Hunter Renfrow play. The other part of that, I mean, you get the pass interference.
Well, wait a second. Hold on now. Here's Riley Johnson.
Offensive pass interference. Number 3. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Now, the Hunter Renfrow play won a national championship.
They executed it better. It was honestly, it's not really pass interference either, because pass interference would be if he picks the inside guy, then just usually when you see it called, it would look like that was more just kind of
they jockeyed for position.
Yeah, well, it was the corner who's on E.J. Williams was was pressing him.
Yeah.
So I don't know. The intent to pass interfere was there.
There we go. Okay. Here's Maffa finding a crease and rolling toward the 12. And now Clemson, after the penalty, Malik Dixon the tackle. Tigers get a redo, and it's still second and goal. 10th play of the drive coming up here, Roddy.
Clemson looking for some momentum to start the second half.
Yep. DJ going to hand to Maffa again and keeps his feet to the 6. So third and goal coming up. We played about 4 minutes here in this third period of play. Clemson's had the ball on the opening kick and just kind of grinding at it here.
It's had to be a grind for Clemson today. The big plays really haven't been there, with the exception of the touchdown pass to Bo Collins. Not a lot of big plays for this Clemson offense, which is really the case for most of the season.
Yep. So here's Uiagalelei now. Third and goal, it stands at the 7.
Kind of one-on-one to the bottom. It's usually where they like to go. Right down here.
Shadows creeping in. DJ throws into them. There's going to be a flag. That's pass interference on Wortham. He grabs Dakari Collins, who almost makes the catch of the ball. UConn going to give it right back on the pass interference here. Easy call.
Pass interference. Defense. Automatic first down.
Karina Tovar is our field judge, Roddy. She made an easy call here.
Very easy call. And the thing is, he didn't need to do it, because Dakari Collins was running a comeback. It looked like DJ Uiagalelei throws it to the inside.
Yep.
Quarterback and receiver on the same page, get bailed out.
And scoring is Maffa on the touchdown. Phil Maffa, his second rushing score of the year.
Phil Maffa, prominently featured on that drive, did a really nice job throughout, getting tough yards, making guys miss. Nice job on the screen, and then puts that one in the end zone. Clemson starts to distance themselves, or continues to distance themselves from the Huskies.
BT Potter to make it a 30-point game. And he does. 11 plays, 46 yards after the unsuccessful onside kick to start the second half. And the Tiger beat rolls on in half 2. Right here out of the timeout, little dance team routine. Next thing you know, somebody's getting married.
Little Tiger love. Proposal on the field, absolutely love it. Now get off, we got to kick the game.
We got to kick it away. Thanks,
kick
kids. Oh, young kids.
Oh.
Next thing you know.
Honestly, it's an unfair position to put her in, to be honest. You can't say no in front of 80,000.
Can't say no in front of a full house. Bruton will watch it hit the end zone. Oh, my goodness. Phil Maffa's 2-yard touchdown run sets the table. Game 1 of 3 on ACC and Duke and Virginia Tech next from Blacksburg. Lane Stadium at Worsham Field with Chris Cotter, Mark Herzlich, and Jalen Johnson. Then in prime time, presented by Geico. Full house, shoulder to shoulder at Truist Field tonight, Roddy.
There will be.
For the Deeks and the Pack.
For the Atlantic, basically. Not entirely, though. Clemson's still not out of it in the Atlantic. Clemson fans still holding out hope that the ACC championship, their regular ACC championship game appearance, is still on schedule.
Incomplete pass from Zach Zaragiotis. starts the drive for UConn. And here is some of the dirt and the details tonight with Dave Clawson and Dave Doran's teams going head-to-head.
And one of the most impressive things this season is Dave Doran's defense losing Isaiah Moore, Peyton Wilson, and still being the best defense in the conference. I mean, they've been fantastic in conference play. They've been incredibly consistent, have played complementary football with Devin Leary in that offense, not turning the ball over. It's been impressive.
Mensah, no shot at turning the corner there. 3rd and long, Taylor Davis.
Well, guys, at halftime, Coach Spanos said defensively he's very proud of his team's energy and effort. He wants to see that continue in the second. Now, offensively, he said it's really hard to get anything going when your quarterback is being pressured as much as he is. And, guys, keep in mind, Jack Zerdiotis was not the team's starting quarterback majority of this season. Now, he has been getting more reps with the ones during their double bye, but this is a very large stage for him to start on. He's encouraged him to settle in, quick releases, and hopefully more help from his offensive line.
Yeah, Steven Krajewski started the last handful of ball games prior to the double bye. 3rd and almost the full 10, and Sheridan Jones, the interception for Clemson.
Wes, go ahead and take the phone out. Get your group text with Pack in there and put that one on the list. That's one heck of an interception. Zerdiotis goes the right way. It's one-on-one, just leaves that ball inside, flips his hips, hand catch, is able to reel it in. Sheridan Jones. That's a beautiful play.
So the interception for the Tigers, another plus field territory start. Off the Connecticut 49. Darian Rencher in the backfield. And Rencher gets a first down run inside the 40 to the 37. A 12-yard pickup before Jones the stop.
And this is the successes you've seen in the second half. That's why no matter what the numbers are in the box, if you're Clemson, run the football. Let your offensive line get an opportunity to really get a lather going, start to lean on these this UConn front, and create some seams for your running backs.
Yep, under 9 to go here in the 3rd. Tigers on the march again. Maffa just cashed in a touchdown a moment ago. Rencher starts him with a 12-yard run. Uiagalelei and Swinney. The catch was made by Will Swinney, who then had to promptly hurdle his own man and a UConn defender as well.
Yeah, I think that was number 12, Caleb Anthony, the UConn defender, who I don't know if defeats. He got cut in the right place, and it was right where Will Swinney was going.
Play fake to Rencher. Down the far sideline, Allen tried to hang on, incomplete. Battling with the linebacker Swenson. You know, we visited with Jim Mora briefly in the second period today, Roddy. And despite the struggles of the University of Connecticut in football, and they are lengthy struggles, right? In terms of the decade we talked about a moment ago, the last 5 years in particular, there are pieces you see a little bit on this field. Ian Swenson is a redshirt junior linebacker. He's got some ability. This Jackson Mitchell, a sophomore, got some ability. Here's Rencher trying to make something happen. And there's Trey Wortham, who's a junior from Stockton, California, making a stop.
The thing that Coach Mora mentioned to us that's been impressive about this UConn team, there's been a lot of adversity the last 2 seasons. COVID obviously hurt everybody, but UConn didn't even play a season.
Didn't even try. They shut it down when the Big Ten shut it down.
Shut it down early on and never really tried to get it back going. These kids had to just practice all last season. And in the spring, they had some COVID issues as well. So they've lost a couple of years really getting back into it. They continue to play hard, though.
Rencher is hurt. He'll come out. Maffa will check in. Darian, that looked like might be a groin area. Tried to stretch it out briefly, but looked like it caught him.
We have not yet seen Will Shipley or Kobe Pace today.
That's it.
Those 2 guys we were told are available in case of emergency. The injuries, I don't think, Clemson had a ton of injuries last year, particularly on defense. This year, it has been all over the place with the injuries.
Yep. And the play clock is winding down here. You wonder almost if Clemson's going to take the delay and let Spires punt it. Leading by 30. And that's what happens. Tigers are going to punt it. So Rencher's 12-yard run just goes by the boards.
5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Clemson will run 3 more plays. And now they'll punt it with Spires. And you see Darian Rencher from over in Anderson. We heard Taylor say he's got his own podcast.
Darian Rencher's got a lot going on.
Darian Rencher has a lot going on.
He's going to take my job soon, too.
Here's Spires trying to pin the Huskies deep. They're going to run off from it, and Clemson's going to get a free shot to down it, and they do inside the 5. Well done. 42-yard punt by Spires. No return. Timeout at Clemson. Back after this. And, oh, by the way, Roddy got engaged last summer.
And congratulations to him.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of we joke about the, hey, he's, you know, wants to get into sports broadcasting. He's going to take our job. No, like Darian Rencher actually is.
Yeah.
He really will. What an impressive young person. Trevor Lawrence got a lot of the publicity with the social justice movements of last year, but Darian Rencher was a big part of that as well.
Here's Stephen Krajewski, by the way, taking snaps now to replace Uiagalelei in the UConn lineup. And they're going to run the football here, and they hammer away with Robert Burns, a Miami transfer. Taylor, he mentioned the podcast, the desire to get into broadcasting. He was kind of at the front line of some NIL stuff, and then he and Mackenzie Wilburn got engaged. So there you go, all of it.
I mean, he's really a jack of all trades, but I did my due diligence as a hardworking sideline reporter, and I listened to some episodes of his podcast, The Players Club.
Yeah.
He actually gets some teammates, other players in college football to come on as guests. Let me tell you, he's got it, guys. I mean, he definitely has a future in it.
No question about it. You just find a way to get Roddy on there, huh?
No, I'm not cool enough. I'm not cool enough to go any sort of Players Club. I mean, washed up Players Club.
Here's Krajewski now. 3rd down throw and offline looking for Turner. So it'll fall incomplete. And the Huskies will have to punt. 3 and out coming up for UConn and Lou Spanos' team.
That time it was Etiosa Rubin get in the backfield and cause Krajewski to not to be able to complete that pass. That's where UConn has really struggled, and honestly, it's not unexpected that you'd struggle against this Clemson defensive line, but they have harassed the UConn quarterbacks today.
Yep. Will Brown will stand at midfield. Joe McFadden. Nice looking punt here. Brown fair catches it, 48-yard line. Step aside at Clemson. 5:10 to go, 3rd period, 30-point lead for the home team. Lots of good topics, lots of good guests today. And Hunter Helms, 6'2" redshirt freshman, West Columbia, South Carolina, who plays for the 2nd time this year into the ball game. And Phil Maffa spins for about 8, 9, 10, make it 11 to the 40, and a 1st down run for Maffa.
Phil Maffa may be getting the rest of these carries if Darian Rencher's not able to come back. Those are the only 2 running backs that we've seen today. They have guys on the sideline starting to lobby to get in at running back.
Yep.
Coach, I played running back once in high school.
Here goes Maffa again, banging away for a couple of yards toward the 38. Ian Swinson the stop. And your point about Helms here too, Roddy. Uiagalelei's limited mobility, Phommachanh shoulder injury that took him out of this ball game early, and now here's Hunter Helms. There's a chance we also might see Billy Wiles before the day is over. But right now, it belongs to the redshirt freshman.
These are good reps for Hunter Helms. I mean, you work hard. Got the opportunity to get a lot of playing time.
Look at that, and a Joe for the 1st time today.
As intended for a Joe, incomplete.
This is a 6'3", 220-pound sophomore from Alberta, Canada. 5 catches in the last 6 ball games. It's been a bit of a frustrating year for a Joe. injury and sort. He looked dynamite in the spring.
Yeah, you can cut and paste that statement for quite a number of Clemson receivers in particular.
Little trap. Moffa trying to spin out of traffic. A stiff arm and a nice play. Shoe top tackle by Durante Jones out of the secondary. Freshman from Mays in Atlanta has been around the football today, making his 9th start for the Huskies.
Going to see him come out of the secondary on the draw. It's a nice job up front by Lawal Ugwak, getting up the field and making Moffa have to bounce out, and then a good tackle.
Spires is going to punt it here. And fair catch will be the signal from Keelan Marion, and UConn will get the football. So Clemson runs 4 plays and punts. UConn going to take over at its 13-yard line. We saw Krajewski come in to take the snaps a moment ago. All right, Roddy. Taylor, buckle up. Here we go. Time for today's Aflac trivia question. Clemson's played 6 games this season, decided by 8 or fewer points. What season is the Clemson record for games decided by 1 score?
Come on, I'm not playing this game.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Hold on now. We've had great proficiency.
Like, how are you supposed to know the answer to that? They're supposed to go back and look at every game they played since 18 whatever.
Here's the sweep play to Bruton, by the way. Let's go downstairs and give Taylor the first crack at this, maybe. First season, the season with Clemson's most games of 1 score or less. Huh.
I'm going to phone a friend on that one.
Okay, great.
Which friend?
You know, I got several thousand down here I could probably ask.
Yeah, you should have
say, Brian Hennessy's down there, the Clemson Sports Information representative.
Probably got as good a shot as we do.
I would give Brian Hennessy the first crack at this if you can find him, Taylor.
Producer
Okay,
Mike Moore is begging us to give an answer.
All over the place. I'm gonna
say it's in the last decade.
Yeah.
Roddy?
What? 2015? I don't know.
16.
Actually, I'll go 14. That was the year Deshaun got hurt, so I'm sure those games were close.
I'm going to say 2013.
Okay.
I'm going to go 2013.
Look, I mean, this doesn't count on my record list. Doesn't count.
And we got movement by UConn. I love the fact we've taken one from the solar system today on the Aflac trivia question.
Just glad we narrowed it from 100 years to 10.
We went way beyond the solar system. There's Brian Hennessy. That's the guy you need to find, Taylor. He can tell you.
For sure.
In fact, there are a few running around here.
He's probably researching it significantly.
Tim Beret's only 2 doors down. I could go down and get this answer in 30 seconds if I need to.
Give me a second. I'll walk down.
You want to go ask Beret real quick? The legendary retired sports information director who now works with Reggie Merriweather and our buddy Don Munson on radio.
I don't know if Don would appreciate me stealing his analyst.
That's for a good cause, your streak. Skalski, Krajewski got leveled from behind by Trenton Simpson.
Skalski's a little banged up, too.
Yeah, James Skalski down.
Injury timeout.
The final 98 seconds of this 3rd period. So James Skalski shaken up. And the Clemson folks out to take a look at the young man from Sharpsburg, Georgia.
Skalski has been an institution in the ACC for really his entire career. I hope that he's all right.
And here's one of those things about this guy. When the respect paid to him from the other coaches is as significant as it is, that's when you know you've made an impact in the game in your league.
And I hope now Clemson fans appreciate what he has brought to them and appreciate watching him play. Again, you hope that he's all right so that he's able to take this field one more time against Wake Forest. But for all these seniors, you know, having obviously gotten towards the end of my college career, the finality starts to get real.
It does.
Come the second to last game in your home stadium.
Yep. Skalski to his feet, Taylor.
I mean, look, this guy loves this program and being a part of it. He and Nolan Turner lived together. We talked about it in the open. And the two of them said after last season and how successful they were, they felt like they were done. They felt like we should go out on a high note. But there was something about this place, these people, and this program that brought them back. They just love it. They play for the purity of college football. It's why we all love it.
Well, and I got to be honest, the Clemson folks have been treated to two of the great leaders at linebacker.
Yeah.
And Ben Boulware and James Skalski.
Well, Boulware was one thing. I feel like Skalski took it even further.
I agree with that.
Took it
but
to
I think Boulware set a standard, and then they had Skalski behind it.
They've had great linebackers here since I was playing. I mean, even before that.
Right.
But in terms of leadership and just the ability to lead and play at a high level for a long time, those two guys got it. 4th down shy. Connecticut over the football here. We'll see if they're going to pull the trigger or not. Krajewski under center with the play clock. Well, it's got a ways to go now. Yeah, it's a long.
It's a long one to try this.
Right.
And now we're going to get a flag. Procedure is the call against the Huskies.
False start. Offense, number 83. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
The tight end, Brandon Neminsky, ticketed for the penalty.
On the 6th hut.
Yeah. So Lou Spanos now will punt it with Joe McFadden. Will Swinney. Can he add to it today? From the 39 and caught at his shoe tops back at the 35. So that's where the Tigers will get started. All right, here's our answer to the split finger fastball Aflac trivia question. Clemson's played 6 games this season, decided by 8 or fewer points. What season holds the Clemson record for games decided by 1 score? Who said 2016?
Nobody.
Yeah, no.
Taylor did, Roddy.
Taylor
did. I did. Roll the tape.
Yeah,
Clemson played in 8 games decided by 8 or less in 2016.
There you go.
I would like to thank my parents. I would like to thank Clemson University. It's a pleasure.
And Brian Hennessy for getting you the answer.
I swear I didn't cheat. I was just a lucky guess.
Here is Darian Rencher spinning for a 1st down. Good to see Rencher back on the field with the pickup of 11 to the 47.
Oh, it was a very good guess. I mean, obviously one of the great years that Clemson's had.
Wow, no kidding.
One of the great teams that this institution has had. Should have thought about the Lamar Jackson game and just guessed it. Lamar Jackson, Deshaun Watson going back and forth, coming down to the wire. League was great that year.
Here's Hunter Helms, last great quarterback year, Roddy, 2016 in the ACC.
Well, until this year.
You think this one's better?
Whoa. Look, that one had a 2-time Heisman runner-up. Deshaun wasn't a runner-up twice. He had a Heisman Trophy winner.
Right.
So, or 2-time Heisman Trophy finalist in Deshaun, and then a Heisman Trophy winner. This year, you may have a Heisman winner in Kenny Pickett. I mean, he's certainly in the realm. I would say star power-wise, it's not quite what it was in 16, but overall, I think it's equal. It's probably deeper, though, Wes.
Look at that. 7 of the top 25 quarterbacks in the country in QBR. And Malik Cunningham, by the way, has put a day together.
Yeah, he has.
At Louisville.
Is he added to the 5 that he had in the 4th quarter, or in the 3rd quarter, middle of the 3rd quarter, 5 touchdowns?
Devin Leary on that list. You'll see him tonight. And how about Sam Hartman?
How about Tyler Van Dyke and what he's done for that Miami team?
Yeah. 2nd down. Helms a little RPO play a moment ago. Now here's a short sprint out and a throw. And the catch made. That is Stellato making the grab. Freshman from Cardinal Gibbons down at Fort Lauderdale, Florida. 2nd catch of the year. 3rd and about 4 here for Clemson.
You know what's interesting, and this may frustrate Clemson fans slightly, but the ACC has really turned into an offensive league this year. Quarterback play has been excellent. Coaching and the returning experience.
All right, so 3rd and short. We go to quarter 4. All right, back at Clemson. We start quarter 4 with 3rd and short for the Tigers, and Hunter Helms at the QB slot and threw it behind Will Swinney on the slant. Coming in from the slot right, so 4th down coming up. And Tigers going to keep the offense on the field here. Clemson is 4 for 4 on 4th down today. Tigers came in on the year just 1 of 6. Rencher checks all the way out here to the bottom of your screen. Quick throw and almost intercepted by Jones. And the Tigers will give it away on downs.
That one certainly should have been picked off. Right into the gut of Kevon Jones.
Durante Jones shaken up briefly. He's come off the field under his own power here. And now early stages of the 4th. UConn will take over. Pretty good field position for the Huskies, who quite frankly offensively had a hard time today after the opening kick by Bruton was run back 99 yards. Krajewski the quarterback, and a big run from Mensah here. Cuts across midfield, picks up about 7 on 1st down. For Kevin Mensah from Worcester. His 29th career start today. And a little tempo for UConn. And that ball airmailed over the top of Marion.
Krajewski tried to power up and throw it quickly, and he didn't have a great grip on that. Oh, he kind of hit his running back too. That was the other part of it.
So all of a sudden 3rd and 5. Krajewski looks and misses completely trying to hit Turner. So UConn doesn't look like they're offering a punt here, Roddy.
And why would you, honestly?
Yeah, good point.
You're on the road at Clemson, trying to get some work in, keep your offense on the field. Let Krajewski see if he can go complete a pass.
Huskies.
The most consistent thing for the Huskies has been the running backs. I think those 2 guys are pretty talented.
Yeah.
Try to get them the football.
Krajewski wants to throw and will overthrow Rose, his tight end. So Clemson with Hunter Helms operating at quarterback. Darren Rencher's come back in off the 49 of the Tigers. And Rencher will get a couple of yards. All right, so yesterday, Roddy Jones and Taylor Davis got a little walk through the old Reeves football complex, huh, Taylor? Not a bad day?
I mean, not a bad day, you know what I mean? That office is something just substantial. As Roddy said, they've got something real special brewing there. It's almost like another level, but you know, there were plenty of good things around it. The slide, of course, I'll never shy away from. The food smelled amazing, but you know, I think beating Roddy at the motorcycle game in the arcade was probably the highlight for me, you know?
Jeez, I thought that was going to stay off the broadcast.
Never, Roddy, never.
Wow.
Maybe we'll get another game and we can have a rematch.
It was a last-second victory, too.
It sure was.
I was pressing my nitro.
It was a comeback.
Wouldn't go fast enough.
It was a 4th quarter win, Roddy. We are in Clemson.
Oh, my goodness. Helms misgripped it. Now going to throw wide open. It's caught. And down the far sideline, Clemson got a great catch out of Max May.
It's funny because Hunter Helms wants to throw this to Darian Rencher, but the ball comes out of his hands, which forces him to get off this initial target. And then May down the field, just standing there wide open.
So Max May's coming to the ball game now for the Tigers. Rencher stays in here. 1st and 10. Clemson now at the 16 of UConn. Helms taking his time. The play clock winding down to 3. And he will hand to Rencher. Darian punches it through for about 4. Jackson Mitchell the tackle for UConn. Clemson's accomplishing a couple of things here today that, and again, you understand you got a chance to win the ball game and win it comfortably. Tigers have been able to put some guys out there today they wanted hard looks at in certain positions. Here's Helms looking for May again. Couldn't hang on in the corner of the end zone against Wortham's coverage. Pretty good throw by Helms, by the way.
Really good throw. Delivery that gave him a chance on the back shoulder. It's pretty good. It's really good coverage by Wortham, though.
Yeah, Luke Price has come in at tight end. They were excited to see this senior from Dillon. He's had a great week of preparation, according to Tony Elliott. Stellato and Will Swinney are the receivers with May, and Rencher now in a slot left with Swinney. Here's Helms on third down. Looking back to the right again, and tried to target May, who slipped and still almost caught it off a knee.
Wortham, I think, got a hand in there. I tell you what, these corners for UConn have been tested today, and I think by and large they've held up pretty well. Clemson's had some guys running wide open that they couldn't hit in the first half, but in terms of like jump ball situations, competitive 50-50 balls, these corners from UConn have held up.
So here's Rencher now. This is fourth down and 6. Helms looks right again. It's caught by Price to the 5, knocked out of bounds. First and goal, Clemson. Diamond Harrell made the play. Senior from Los Angeles.
Here's some Luke chance.
Yeah, you did.
How about the flow out of the back of the helmet, too?
Well,
they were excited about Luke Price, saying that
guy works hard.
He's worked his tail off. He probably get some reps today.
First and goal, and Rencher trying to find the end zone. Rolled over toward the 3. Second and goal coming up. Uiagalelei makes the tackle. Clemson's now 5 of 6 on fourth down today, Roddy. They came in 1 for 7 on the year.
Dial up some nice stuff. They got UConn to jump off sides on a fourth down earlier as well.
So Rencher in the backfield. Hamp Green has come in as a wide receiver to the bottom of the screen. There's a look from field level at Green. Give is to Rencher. Trying to move the stack to the end zone. Darian, did he get to the goal line? No. It'll be third and goal from inside the 1. Marquavian Evans, the first Husky to get to it. You can tell 21 wants the rock here.
And it's good because there's not a lot of other options.
Timeout.
And Omar Fort is down, the linebacker for UConn. We'll take a break. Fourth quarter continues from Clemson. Following our coverage here from Tiger Town, we'll send you to Southwestern Virginia. Duke and Virginia Tech. Blue Devils trying to scratch in the ACC. Hokies are 1-4 in their last 5. And then tonight in primetime, presented by Geico, number 16 NC State, number 12 Wake Forest. From Winston-Salem, all coming up on ACC Network. 10:43 to go here at Clemson. Tigers in firm control, and it's third and goal inside the 1. Darian Rencher, the running back. They'll give it to Rencher, and he got knocked back. The ball popped loose in the end zone. UConn says they have it, or did Clemson recover for the score? It's a touchback on the Rencher fumble. Recovered by Hunter Webb.
The ball was fumbled from the field of play into the end zone, recovered by UConn. Touchback.
At first look, I don't think there's any question that he didn't get in the end zone. Oh, he's trying to reach the ball out, and yeah, very clearly comes out. The question is, did it cross the plane? And I don't think he got close.
Jackson Mitchell knocked it loose, Roddy.
From seeing it from our angle, I don't think he got close to the end line, or to the end zone. This would be about as good a look as it gives you. It's not quite right down the goal line. Yeah, that ball's clearly out.
He didn't get there.
Yeah, he didn't get close.
So fumble by Rencher. And the Tigers turn it over for a second time today. So the turnovers are even at 2 with 10.5 to go here.
Part of the frustration of the game, even in a game that's out of hand, you still want your team to be sharp. You don't like the ball on the ground. That'll be the frustration that Will Swinney has. I think the bigger question, though, going forward is going to be the health of this football team. And we've seen Justin Ross exit the game and come back with a boot and crutches. James Skalski out of the game with ice on his knee. You already had Will Shipley and Kobe Pace only available in emergency situations only. Latson and Gata out.
Right.
It's just the injuries mounting for this team. That's just the offensive side of the ball with one defender.
A reminder, fans, your purchase of official Operation Hat-Trick merchandise.
And a lot of the folks that were here are feeling fairly comfortable with 10 to go and working their way toward the exits. This UConn team, by the way, staring at an 8 straight road loss and 20 of their last 21, with trips to UCF and a home date with Houston on November 27th, Roddy.
Houston's a good football team.
Yeah.
Really good defensively.
UCF not bad either, right?
UCF struggling a little bit.
Yeah, they are.
They're struggling a little bit. You talk about injuries. They've had a ton of injuries this season, starting early on in the game against Georgia Tech. Excuse me, the game against Louisville.
Right.
Dylan Gabriel got hurt.
We're going to look at Krajewski for UConn here. Huskies. We told you about the Phommachans earlier today. Taylor did in the huddle preview. Here's Krajewski going to reroute and flip it out in the flat. This is Marisal, redshirt sophomore, who got taken down behind the line. Loss of 3, almost 4 on the play. Clemson's got some fresh guys out there defensively too. Same game plays on the offense, on the defensive side. That was Greg Williams. You saw 99. He's coming to the ball game. Kevin Swint, number 14 in that defensive line, somebody that they pointed out in our coverage yesterday in our production visits with him. Jeremiah Trotter Jr. has come in the ball game too for the Tigers, and that's Carter. Best run of the day for UConn from scrimmage, by the way, for Nathan Carter, the freshman from Rochester, New York.
Yeah, and that offensive line for UConn had to contend with Jeremiah Trotter Jr. coming off the edge, getting pushed out of the way.
There's Barrett Carter, a 5-star out of north of Atlanta, Roddy.
Barrett Carter, Trotter Jr. Those, I mean, they are so excited about those two guys that you almost can't contain Brent Venables. He's like, look, these two guys are going to be as good as we've had at this school at the linebacker position.
Yep. Ooh, there's a collision. And Jake Venables, speaking of the Venables, 15 in there.
Jake Venables probably hasn't gotten his credit, playing behind Balin Spector and James Skalski. He's been a good player for Clemson for a while.
Jake Venables looks like
football.
He means football.
He looks like football. Draw me a player that looks like football. Try it out, Jake Venables.
Drew Swinney going to wait on the punt here. We've seen Will score a touchdown. We're going to see Drew take a punt. And a running catch of it on the fly, and no more than the 45 for Drew. 37-7. Tigers comfortably on the way to win number 7. Join you from Clemson with the Tigers picking up about 4 on first down. And Billy
Illegal
Wiles
substitution against the defense.
has come into the ball
12
game
men
at
on the
quarterback.
field when the ball was snapped. 5-yard penalty. First down.
So Wiles, the freshman from Ashburn, Virginia, who had some G5 scholarship offers, Roddy, and elected to walk on here at Tiger Town.
Yeah, most notably, we were told Tulane, a school that he was considering, but what an opportunity to prove himself on the biggest stage. And honestly, like, you come out and you play well in this situation, you get in the right play, you operate the offense well, deliver a couple nice passes, then you start to get some looks, you start to get some of those, second, third team reps. Work your way up the depth chart. That's how it happens.
So here is 2nd down and 5. And Wiles going to cut it loose. Ball caught, stepping out of bounds on the far side is Hampton Earl for Clemson. So we got Hampton Earl out there playing at one of the wide receiver spots. We got Drew Swinney and Ty Herbstreit is at the bottom of the formation in the throw game here for the Tigers. Rencher paid the price on the RPO or read, I should say zone read, Roddy, and then Helms is able to pick up a few yards, but man, Rencher took one in the mouth for that one.
Yeah, I'm not sure there wasn't an option for him to toss it out to Herbstreit if he wanted to, but opts to keep it. And as you said, that's why running backs, I mean, you just go and appreciate a running back today. Can we get a running back appreciation day?
Wiles and bounced it going to the far side. That was intended for Ty Herbstreit.
Honestly, he fielded it on the long hop. We should just let him play that, man. Why not?
And that is one of Kirk's twins. He and Jake both started here at Clemson. Jake's is transferred to Ohio State as a student. Meanwhile, Billy Wiles is looking at 3rd and long. Long throw and offline. Mix up there in the throw game with Hamp Green, who was the intended receiver.
With where that landed, I'm not so sure that it would have mattered had they been on the same page. That ball was a long way out of bounds, but as is, you see some guys getting on the field, getting an opportunity. And even for the guys that play a lot, this is fun. You get to see, you know, you're with these guys all the time in the locker room, and you sit with them in the film room, and you know, in the palatial facilities of Clemson, you're hanging out with these guys all the time.
Clemson.
So it's good to see him get on the field.
30-second timeout.
Tigers going to burn one here. Aiden Swanson had come on to punt, sophomore from IMG in Tampa. And so the timeout. And the Tigers,
oh man,
huddling up here.
The patrons are
not happy.
Not happy. The gathering at the Paul will not happen today.
Right. Yeah. That's, well, given the current climate,
not a fan.
Yeah. So here is Aiden Swanson. He's going to punt for Clemson here. Freshman or sophomore from Tampa, by the way, by way of IMG Academy. He's had a couple of punts on the year. Keelan Marion stands at the 9 here for UConn. Marion going to run off from it. That ball's going to hit inside the 10 and be down by the 10-yard line. And we'll step aside. 6.5 to go at Clemson. Tigers up 30. Back here at Clemson, UConn going to take over at its 10. Clemson looking to get to 7-3. Don't forget tonight, following NC State and Wake Forest, the huddle after dark, Roddy. I saw E.J. Manuel with a big coat.
It's a little chilly there at Winston-Salem.
Beanie on today. Before,
honestly, EJ, strong artist energy from EJ's
all I'm going to tell you is that turtleneck and that beanie and that big coat will be very helpful tonight for the huddle after dark. 10:30-ish.
Yeah, I don't know about 10:30.
11:30-ish might be the better call tonight. The way the ball will be in the air in Winston. There's a little dump to Bruton. Kind of a, it'll be a shovel pass, so it will count as a throw and a catch, I think, statistically, for Bruton, who picks up about 13 in a first down.
Should be the huddle's Affleck trivia question. What's the shortest game Wake Forest has played this season?
Wow. Let me tell you this.
Ball, a lot of points, balls in the air a lot.
7:30 start.
Yep.
I'm saying huddle after dark, 11:15.
11:15 sounds about right.
11:15 tonight, 3:45 I'm calling.
Unless that NC State defense has something to say about it. Then you'll be done about 10:30 and you got a lot of work to do.
Well, and here's the part about that. Let's go back to that portion of the game. in your mind, is it the Pack defense and the Wake offense tonight?
So yeah, this like the preview of this one honestly seems very similar to the preview of UNC Pitt. Everyone seemed to forget how good Pitt can be on the defensive side of football. Now they didn't hold up in the second half and it ends up being an overtime game, but I think NC State's defense's ability to keep Wake off schedule and against UNC. The straight drop back game for Wake Forest, their traditional pass game, wasn't overly effective.
Right.
So if you can get Wake in those situations consistently, then yeah, I think NC State's defense could have a pretty good day.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think NC State's #1 goal is to run the ball tonight, Roddy, shorten the game if they can.
Well, the thing is, they haven't been able to run the ball all that well this year. You look at the overall numbers, the yards per carry numbers, the yards before contact numbers. It has not been what we expected out of NC State on the ground this season.
Krajewski on 3rd and long, out in the flat, and Mensah kept his feet, but he'll be short of the first down, falling toward the 32. That's the point, though. We've seen Wake really fight the run game from teams, though.
Well, that's true, and you know that's the other side of the interesting matchup. NC State has shown a commitment to running the football, but hasn't been overwhelming doing it. Wake has struggled to stop the run, and they did. They did in their last outing against Carolina. Ty Chandler may still be running. Oh, no. Well, he got stopped by Pittsburgh. So
that's true.
That's the only thing that kept him from it.
4th and short here for UConn. And Krajewski wants to throw out in the flat. Mensah the catch, but he lost ground. Great tackle in the open field by Ray Thornton. Sophomore from Columbus, Georgia. Makes the stop behind the line, and the Huskies cash it out on downs. So Clemson will get the ball back at UConn's 30-yard line now with 4:16 to go. And the Tigers bring Billy Wiles back. Clemson running the ball. That's Ty Lucas who gets the carry. And so Lucas is coming the ball game now for Clemson.
Ty Lucas is listed as a running back and long snapper. And as a guy who for 6 weeks of the season during one of his years in college was the backup long snapper, I can appreciate Ty Lucas.
So Lucas in the game, under 4 to go. Here's Wiles looking for Brenningstool in the end zone, and it's caught! Touchdown! The big tight end lined up wide.
It's just one of those plays, Wes, so there's a lot of wrong. There's a lot of wrong that happens here. Brenningstool ends up on the inside of the defensive back. You don't draw it up like that necessarily. There's safety coming over the top. You probably shouldn't go there with the football, but Brenningstool makes the play. Again, 6'6", 235 pounds. He's going to be a player here.
Oh, yeah.
His ability to split out. He'll grow physically, so the ability to play in line will develop. They are really excited about Brenningstool, and this should be. He's a good-looking player.
25-yard touchdown pass. Jake Brenningstool's first career score. Jonathan White's kicked the extra point, and that takes us to our MVP of the game. Brought to you by Sport Clips. A pair of 49-yard field goals. Season best for B.T. Potter.
When they needed points early, this offense was stalling. B.T. Potter comes through with a couple of long ones, puts it through the uprights. And so, for the first time in the history of you and I doing games together, MVP of the game goes to a kicker.
And he flexes accordingly.
Of course.
Added a 30-yarder.
Honestly, though, that's not. Look at that. Check this out. Check that out.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Yeah.
A little muscle there. A little definition. Okay, B.T. Potter's been in the weight room.
Sure he has. So there you go.
You don't sound convinced.
No, I'm with you on all that.
Okay. In a way that most kickers, they've been in the weight room too. It's just not, you know, a frequent thing, and they don't often participate. But Potter looks like he has.
Aiden Swanson delivers it to the goal line. Here comes UConn again. Bruton on the loose. Brian Bruton, far side. Couple guys he's got to get away from. He's knocked out of bounds at the 25. And a flag thrown in behind it. Maybe more coming on that one. And Brian Bruton again juggled it and almost housed it.
Should that be the strategy from here on for UConn? It disarms the kickoff team.
76-yard return to go with a 99-yarder.
The two that have bobbled have gone for a combined
Personal foul.
175 yards.
Late hit out of bounds, number 6 of the kicking team. That penalty will be administered half the distance to the goal line. First down.
I can't believe it happened again. He puts the ball on the turf, and this one goes right up the middle.
Oh, man, two guys fly by. Aiden Swanson a miss. And
that's a tough late hit out of bounds call. I know. And Sheridan Jones is just coming across.
Yep.
It's hard to avoid in that situation. I mean, I get the call. It's a little tough, though.
There's a throw and a catch. And the grab made by Naminsky, the tight end. Richard Simmons, our statistician, tells me Bruton has 190 kickoff yards today, Roddy. UConn has 94 yards of offense.
You know, there may be something to disarming the kickoff team by putting the ball on the turf and then exploding with big returns.
Krasinski almost intercepted. Carson Donnelly got a hand in there.
R.J. Mickens, the safety too, was right in the area. If Mickens picks that off, he's hitting his head on the goalpost. I mean, it is a foot race to the end zone, and he ain't losing.
So now, 3rd down and 3. Off the Clemson 5.
And Clemson's been excellent in these situations really throughout the season.
Mensah on the toss, trying to get to the perimeter and gives ground. The angle got shut down by Williams, the defensive end, then Malcolm Green shoved him out of bounds. Greg Williams, though, you hear the term set the edge in the run game. 99 set the edge and then about 5 or 6 more yards.
Not only did he set the edge, he reset the edge into the backfield. Making it tough for UConn, who once again is going to go for it. Again, it's kind of one of those situations. You find a one-on-one matchup and you go to it. You've got Marion at the top, one-on-one.
Throw incomplete. Looking for Marion in the end zone, Roddy, against Malcolm Green.
All of the matchups are tough, but if you run a play on the inside, then you're counting on every single one of your guys blocking every single one of their guys.
Right.
So you find the one-on-one and you go to it. Quarterback's just got to make a better delivery.
So Billy Wiles will finish this up here with 2:08 to go. I don't sense that UConn will call many timeouts.
They've gone for it on 4th down like every time. You never know. Maybe they want one more.
Rencher into the line for a couple. Or is that Lucas? That was Lucas. I beg your pardon.
You know, ultimately, this game for Clemson is going to be one that they want to flush. It's going to be a big win, 44-7. But overall, the performance, especially from the ones, just sloppy today. Dabo Swinney said it at halftime to Taylor. And you got a big one next week, Wake Forest, and it's a Wake Forest. You play like this against Wake Forest, and it's not going to go well. So how does the improvement come? Where's the health of DJ Uiagalelei's knee? Where's the health of Tyson Phommachanh next week, who's been an integral part of this offense? Justin Ross is going to be a question mark. Will Shipley, Kobe Pace, we didn't see today. a question mark.
You'll need all those guys next week.
You will need every single one of them. And then defensively, James Kalski, who has the ice on the knee. We'll see what happens with Wake tonight. Wake and NC State, but for Clemson, it's going to be a frustrating one to go back and watch the film of.
Yep. And Lucas will carry it out on 3rd down. He'll be a couple of yards shy of the first down. So it'll be 4th down and 2. Tigers are going to go to 7-3 with their final ACC game coming next week, and then in 2 weeks the annual renewal of the game with South Carolina.
State championship.
Yep.
After not being played for the first time in how many years? It's like 109 or something like that?
Correct.
That should have been the athletic trivia question. Could have gotten that one.
Clemson, they're going to take a delay here. Or
Timeout.
Timeout taken by Clemson.
30-second timeout, second of the half.
Tigers are going to punt this away. And off we will go as well after the punt. Clemson to 7-3. UConn will fall to 1-9.
Yeah, it's been a tough season for the Huskies. They fought today, especially on the defensive side of the ball. I thought they got after it pretty good.
Right.
Offensively, it was always going to be tough for UConn to have any sort of sustained success, but it's a season that UConn is happy to get in and get the experience, and then the Jim Mora era will begin, and we'll see where this place can go. But Dabo Swinney's got to be, you know, you're happy with the win, you're frustrated with the way your team played, I'm sure, but winning's hard. Got to enjoy the wins.
Yep. So this is Will Spires to punt it away and basically will end the ball game. Keelan Marion deep to return for UConn. This one will be skipped into the ground. Marion will field it, and the ball game will end on that play right there. Clemson is a winner, 44-7. Tigers get Wake Forest next Saturday at noon here in Tiger Town. Great to be with Roddy Jones, Taylor Davis, our producer Mike Moore, our director Nick Young. West Durham from Frank Howard Field, where the Tigers are 44-7 winners. Off to Blacksburg. Here is Chris Cotter.
Thank you, Wes. Enter Sandman just blasted through the loudspeakers here at Lane Stadium. What an unbelievable entrance and a great atmosphere today for a team that's 4-5. They love their Hokies, and Virginia Tech trying to even their record at 5 apiece, taking on the Duke Blue Devils, who are looking to get their first ACC.
But it's been all about Trey Turner. Missing last week, it was very noticeable. This offense is based around the run game, yes, but then the run hasn't worked well, so it's in the season, but now he's in, he's starting for them. He's a really good north-south runner, complement Raheem Blackshear out of the backfield.
3rd down and 8 on the Hokies' first possession. Time looking for Turner, and he had him, and he still has him. Ball bobbled up in the air, but Turner was able to come down.